And welcome out to Grady's Field, everyone, as your Xenia Scouts are coming off 2 victories in one day. Yes, the Scouts came up with 2 wins in the doubleheader on the road yesterday in Lorain County to take on the Northern Ohio Baseball Club. Usually play their games in Strongsville, but due to some weather conditions and a poor field, we moved to the Pipe Yard, and the Scouts came away with a 2-1 and then a 5-3 victory. And are now 12-4 on the year. Thank you for listening to Xenia Scouts Baseball with myself, Terry Lash, and my broadcast partner, Lance Morris. And Lance, impressive games yesterday from the Scouts, now number 2 in the standings. The Copperheads did win last night to remain at the top of the Great Lakes League standings, but big series these next 2 games against the 3rd place team, the Hamilton Joes.
Yeah, it's absolutely right. You think about the Scouts yesterday had a weird series of couple days. On Sunday, we thought we were going to go out to Strongsville and play the games, but that wasn't able to happen. We thought we were going to go there yesterday as well. Ended up going out to Lorain County, out near Strongsville, just about a 30-minute drive away. We're able to get both of the games in, and Strongsville not one of the stronger teams in the league, but still the Scouts managed to get everything done.
And now John Crawford on the mound for the Baby Blues. First pitch in there for a strike, and Lance, what's the side coming up for the Joes?
For the Joes, R.J. Thompson is at the plate right now. It'll be Jackson Boyce and Hunter Owen.
And here comes the second pitch from Crawford. That one's hit to right field. Getting under it is Miles Wright in the sun, and is put away right by the warning track. Remember, right field, the shallowest part of the park. Only goes about 315 over there to right field, but 1 up, 1 down on the first pitch from John Crawford. It's going to bring up Jackson Boyce, batting .423 on the year. The 2 through 5 batters for this Joe's team, all batting over .400. First pitch. That one's hit over towards Lee Solomon at short. He picks. No, he does not. It goes off his leather, bounces into left field, so it'll be a first pitch single for Jackson Boyce, the second baseman from IUPUI.
Right fielder,
also known as Huey Pewey. Out to the Indiana people, I know when I was doing a softball game against IPFW, the SID for them went to IUPUI, and he told us the new nickname that I did not already know.
Now coming up to the plate, the righty Hunter Owen. First pitch to him. Another first pitch swinging. Joe's one of the best hitting teams in the league. Lead the Great Lakes League in RBIs, and they are not bashful when they get to the dish.
Yeah, 166 hits on the year, scored 102 runs, 93 of them batted in.
And that one's going to be fouled backwards. So first 2 pitches are fouled away. Thank you again for joining Lance and myself on another beautiful day at Grady's Field. Here comes the 0-2. That one does not curve back into the zone. That's now 2-1. Crawford is 1-0 on the year, has yet to give up a run on the season. The lone member in the Great Lakes Summer Collegiate League who has not done so with the minimum required of innings pitched. And here comes the 1-2. Now it's 2-2. Misses away. Even up here with 1 out, 1 on in the top of the first inning. Winds up and throws, and that one's going to be fouled back as well. So after we saw the first 2 batters put it in the field of play on the first pitch, had a long at bat here to Hunter Owen, the right fielder from Valparaiso.
Yeah, Owen with a lot of pop on his bat, 2 home runs with 13 RBIs.
Here comes that 2-2, and that one's going to be as well into the black netting right before the home stands.
Luckily today we won't have to deal with all the mayflies we saw up in Lorain County yesterday.
Absolutely.
They were everywhere.
Good point, Lance. Whenever a ball hit the nets back in Lorain County, which is right off of Lake Erie, it was mayfly paradise. 2-2 count. Crawford looks at first. Now he throws to Owen, and that one is a bit outside. We have a full count now. The path to the plate has worked all the way back to 3-2. From the stretch. Here comes the payoff. Runner's going, and he jams him inside. Foul backwards by Hunter Owen. This is a duel between the 2 11s as both players are sporting the number 11 on the back of their jerseys. Crawford in the baby blue and white pants, and the Hamilton Joes come today in their black jerseys with red and yellow trim and gray pants. Here it comes. Swan hit over towards Kyle Carnahan on third. Throws to Christian Binger. Trying to get the 4. No. Try to get that 5-4-3 double play, but Owen a little too. And he's able to get fielder's choice, but Jackson Boyce out at second and 2 down now for the Joes here on the top of the first.
Nice play over there by Carnahan at third. Went over to second in time for 1, but Owen was first base in time. Boyce.
Now comes cleanup hitter Andy Young, the third baseman from Indiana State. Swings and misses. Big swing from Young. We know Young carries a heavy hammer as locally leading in home runs with 4 on the season. 0-1 count. Here comes Crawford. Swung on. Crawford wheeling in deep. First inning. Andy Young in the meat of this Joe 2 pitch. Now bounce back. Young staying alive at 0. It's about between the second and third place team. Also, we do have some Periscope action going on, courtesy of Lance Morris. That one's in the. It's a good job to cover that one up. Or bounces back. 1-2 now. Owen over there on first base. In the field turf, and Owen is going to walk towards second base unopposed. That one bounces away from Lincoln Reed. So a couple of pitches in the brown field turf. John Crawford is going to put everything at 2s. 2-2 count. 2 outs. Gilcrease in center. Got on and put. I like that. The yellow of the Hamilton goes dugout. And it's 0-0 going to the bottom of the Grady's field on a beautiful Tuesday afternoon.
From the scouts going through most of the meat of that Hamilton Joes lineup. They did allow Boyce to reach with a hit. Owen got on courtesy of the fielder's choice, but then they got Young to harmlessly fly out to Levi Gilcrease in center field to strand Owen over at second to end the first inning.
And Lance, who do we got on the mound today for the Hamilton Joes?
For the Joes, it'll be Ryan Colgate, the Dominican University, and he was a 33rd round pick in this year's MLB draft by the Cleveland Indians. The only player between the two teams here today to be drafted. That, of course, could have changed had David Gaunt decided to sign an offer from the Texas Rangers. Chose not to. Decided for his senior season at Washburn with Scouts teammate and Washburn teammate Kyle Carnahan. So luckily for the Scouts, he decided to stick around and keep that bat of his in the lineup.
Scouts come into this game very hot. They've won 4 of their last 5. Last loss came right here at Grady's Field against the Grand Lake Mariners. That was on Friday, the second game of a doubleheader. That was a 5-3 loss, and it was almost another come-from-behind win as the bases were loaded. Lee Solomon had a long drive to the deepest point in the park, but the center fielder was able to catch it in the tippy top of his glove. Put the Scouts away for their first loss at Grady's on the year, but they rebounded with those 2 victories yesterday against the Northern Ohio Baseball Club. Victory sitting right next to him, and Will Cruz, who got his second win of the season. Will now with 2 wins, and Q leading the league with 4. Scouts coming out to the dish right now. Lance, what is the side for the Scouts?
It's the side most Scouts fans have gotten used to. It's Lee Solomon leading it off.
As he shows bunt, pulls back first, pitches a ball from Colgate.
It'll be Christian Binger, the second baseman, and Kyle Carnahan, Mr. Hot Corner.
And here comes the 1-0 side. So 2-0. Colgate came to the Joes a little bit late. And then his first start was an exhibition game, so this is his first recorded game of the season. 2-0 now to Lee Solomon, Troy Street, and 1 to the shortstop from Lipscomb in Nashville.
And even after a few pitches, you can tell this guy's throwing harder than most of the guys have seen.
Here comes the 2-1. That one's tipped off the top of the ball, and it rolls back towards the backstop and puts it at 2-2. And you're right, a lot of velocity. Got to imagine that from a big league talent like Ryan Colgate. Ohio Dominican right outside Columbus. 2-2 count. Here's the pitch, and that one foul to the left of that third base bag right in front of the stoic body of head coach Bubba Cates. 2-2. Here comes in there for a looking strikeout. Colgate stuns Solomon. And the first time of the game, the first batter of the game for the Scouts.
And if the Scouts aren't ready for that, and just was sitting there looking for that pitch and wasn't ready for it when it came.
Binger at the plate. First pitch swinging for grounds out to his position. So 2 up, 2 down for the Scouts. Lee Solomon gets it to a 2-2 count and strikes out looking. And then Christian Binger, first pitch swinging to Colgate, grounds out over there at second base, and that's going to bring up Mr. Hot Corner himself, Kyle Carnahan. Colgate from the windup. He raises that knee and throws outside for a ball. Standing on the left side of the rubber, facing the plate. Here's the 1-0 pitch and check from Carnahan. Count is now 2-0. Good job showing restraint from Kyle. Colgate winds and throws. That one occurs. We saw strikeout Lee Solomon to start this bottom of the first inning. 2-1 count to Kyle Carnahan. Scouts trying to get on base for the first time in the game. That one occurs in their inside corner. A nasty curve Ryan Colgate possesses.
And if he's going to have that curveball working the whole game like that, it's going to jam up a lot of these Scouts hitters.
You know, we've seen someone with this much curve, I think, all season. Here's the 2-2. That one's hit over towards shortstop and is off his glove. Carnahan's going to be on with an error.
That's something we've seen a lot of times from Carnahan. He'll hit the ball really hard and it'll be right at somebody and it'll go off of their glove and Carnahan will reach way of the air. So that won't help his batting average any, but he will get on base.
Hoover, the shortstop, boots that one. And that's then over at first base. So first baseman of the game for the Scouts. And that's going to bring up David Gaunt at first pitch in the field turf for a ball. Gaunt's family in attendance today. Kansas City, Missouri. That's sporting his Royals gear. The whole fam bam is in attendance. Pleasure to meet the Gaunts. Pick off the back easily is Carnahan. Gaunt steps back on the plate. Gaunt, team's leading batter. Batting 365 on the year. Here comes the pitch. Swung on and missed that one. Couldn't handle the Colgate delivery. One count here with 2 down in the bottom of the first inning. Zip to zip between. Here comes the 1-1. That one's low as well. Good eye. Dave between two players. Could have MLB potential. David was not drafted, could have been, and then Colgate drafted in the 33rd round. 2-1 pitch. That one's going to play right between the 1 and the 7 of David Gaunt's jersey. So now there's going to be 2 on for the Scouts.
In a rare time, we'll see someone from Washburn hit that isn't Kyle Carnahan.
That's a good point. Kyle leads the team with 5 pitches on the inning over there at second. But it's actually his teammate, David Gaunt, who gets nailed by that one. That's going to bring up Wyatt Hogan to the plate with 2 on. White had an RBI single in the first game yesterday of that double. 2 on, 2 outs. 0-0 is the score. Here comes the pitch from Colgan. That one's going to be towards second base. Picked up and put away by Boyd. So the Scouts threaten here. Bottom of the first inning, but go away with nothing. So the Scouts leave 2 on, a trend that we saw yesterday in both games of the doubleheader. They're going to try to buck that trend today. They do leave 2 on to start this one off.
Yeah, we saw it a lot yesterday in both games. I just took a look back at our box score from yesterday. Every single inning except the fourth inning when they went down 1-2-3, the Scouts left at least one batter on, and in both the seventh and the third innings, they left 2 guys on. So hopefully that's a trend that they do not continue. They continue that if they score some runs, but if you're not scoring any runs and you're leaving guys on base like that, it's not a recipe for success.
You're right, it is not. So coming back to the rubber will be John Crawford from Sinclair Community College. John's been fantastic in the start of the season. On the year, John has 12 innings pitched. He's given up 5 hits only in those 12 innings. That's 8 strikeouts. Like we mentioned, innings of, which is good for tops in the Great Lakes League.
Coming up for the inning, it will be designated hitter Luke Emling, and then catch.
Zimmerman batting from the Otterbein College outside of Columbus. Another run lefty so far against the lefty Crawford. He winds and he fires outside corner for a strike. In his first 2 starts of the year, we saw Crawford go 6 innings. See if he goes about this. Knocker back inside is a bit low for a. So here comes, that one's right down the dish. It is now. And this battle between 2 big hitters in Zimmerman. Foul as that one is smoked towards the bullpen of the Xenia Scouts to the left side. And that foul territory towards third base. Crawford gets his pitch from field. Levi put it away. So Levi Gilcrease first up and to that murderer's row of Jackson boys: Hunter Owen, Andy Young, and Jake Zimmerman. Those 4 batters, all batting over 400 coming into today. Giving 1 hit to that crew.
Okay.
Pitch from Crawford does not curve into the ceiling, comes up. Miller seeing 1 of 2 players from Millersville. 1-0 count. Here's the pitch, and that one's we foul backwards. We know John Crawford now still works pretty fast. One's hit to left field. Jonathan Brock steps up and drops back, steps up again, and he finds it in the blazing sun. A beautiful day of the year here on June 23rd.
And I think we can. This is that John Crawford, a fly ball pitcher. He's gotten 1, 2, 3, 4 flyouts so far, and we're not all the way through the batting order.
Now up to the plate will be Zach Hummel, batting .310 on the year, which is pedestrian towards the rest of this lineup, unbelievably. For a ball just outside corner. Here comes the pitch, and that one swung on and missed. A big whiff that time from Hummel. Well, from Appalachian State University, a Mountaineer, going to his senior year. And here comes the pitch. It's foul backward. So 1-2 to Zach Hummel. And the turf evens it up at 2 apiece. Lincoln Reed getting his second start behind the plate tonight. Came into this year as a catcher. Third season with the squad. And here comes the 2-2, and that one curves just a bit too high. Did not find the strike zone. And we are going to go to a full count. Be the second full count. Time Hunter Owen hit into a fielder's choice. 3-2. Here's the payoff. That one is the Joe's dugout.
One also face mask.
That's why they wear face masks. It's a 3-2 count now for Crawford. Winds and fires. Fouled way out of play to the right side. So another long at bat, this time from the catcher, Zach Hummel. Crawford looks, waiting on his pitch from Lincoln Reed. Steps, winds, delivers, and misses. No, he doesn't miss. A delayed call. Corner, and Zach forces the second umpire.
And that's the type of pitch you can't take when it's a 3-2 count. You have to be ready to swing, even if you do think it's a tad bit outside. Can't take one that close, and almost sent back to the dugout.
So 2 innings of ball from John Crawford. In the second inning, he goes 1, 2, 3 as he gets a couple of flyouts. Strikeout of the game. That'll be number 9 on the season for Crawford. Excuse me, number 10 on the year. He's in double digits now. And he's looking in control against a very Joe's lineup through 2 innings. So, Lance, who we got coming up for the side for the Xenia Scouts?
For the Scouts, it'll go 6, 7, 8. It'll be led off by the Texas Wesleyan Ram, Jonathan Bravo. He's play. Then it'll be Levi Gilcrease, a center fielder coming to us from Baylor University. And then after him, it'll be catcher Lincoln Reed getting another start of the year at catcher. He's seen most of his time down at first base. He comes to us from Taylor University, transferred from Hillsdale College.
I want to go back to a point you made earlier about the ball being hit into Lincoln Reed's face mask. And I'm going to go on a bit of a tangent here, Lance.
Go for it.
But we've seen Lincoln Reed boxing at the YMCA. I don't know if he does it competitively ever. And that makes you think he can deal with some of those nose injuries if he's fighting other heavyweights. And I put boxing Lincoln Reed in my top 10 fears list of my life, right above fighting a bear, below burning to death.
I was expecting a tangent. I was not expecting that.
He's
Yes, he is.
a big right hook. And now Jonathan Bravo, the right-hander, is going to try to right hook it into the outfield. That first one goes to a strike from Colgate. Out there. Yes, Lance, that is a tooth. And here comes the 0-1 to Bravo. And that one's hit towards left center, and it's going to just be a single. I thought it was going to go to the wall. Great job that time by the left fielder to be able to reach his extended glove up and throw it back in, because if not, Bravo's definitely standing over there second, Lance.
Yeah, it's absolutely right. It was a great play out there by Thompson in left field. He got over to that one in a hurry, and had he not, that probably would have rolled into the wall after that one hitting the gap.
So here comes Levi Gilcrease. First pitch to him outside and away for a ball. That was the first hit of the day for the Scouts. They got a couple base runners on, but Carnahan got on with an error, and David Gaunt was hit by a pitch. So now comes Levi Gilcrease, and Bravo's on the move. They're going to try to gun him down, and he's safe. He ducks the tag again. He did it yesterday. He does it today. He's an acrobat on the base pass. because somehow tags where he should be out.
I actually used the reference of acrobat in my story last night.
Yeah, he's just nimble over there. So now Bravo on second with no outs here in the bottom of the second. Here comes the pitch outside, and it's in towards the backstop as it gets by Hummel. And that's going to put Bravo on third. So just like that, one at bat and a runner on third base.
That was a wild pitch.
We ruled a wild pitch from Colgate. Gilchrist still at the plate for a 2-1 count.
I gave Kyle a hit on that one because he crushed it.
The center fielder from Baylor heads towards third base, checks off Bravo and throws over there to Zimmerman. Good job by Young.
The catcher, number 20.
And we heard from our stats guy, Jeff Connor, he ruled the hit by Carnahan back in the third to be a hit.
So 2 hits on the day now given up
I don't know if I agree with that.
by Colgate.
But we'll go with it.
So
Helps our guys out.
So Lincoln Reed up to the plate. Swung on, heads it towards first base, but foul. Just painting that first base foul line. Lincoln Reed looking to bring Jonathan Bravo home. All he would have to do is hit a deep fly ball to center field. Tries to get under this one. See if he can bring home the speedster, the Ram from Texas Wesleyan, Jonathan Bravo. Here comes the 0-1. Good eye by Reed as it's outside from Colgate. Evens up at 1 apiece.
And with all the movement on his pitches, you're not quite sure where they're going to end up. So good eye from Lincoln to see that one go outside the zone.
Lincoln a switch hitter, hitting a lefty because he's facing a righty. Swings and misses out of that one. Gonna feel the swoosh of air. And it's Lincoln trying to avoid being the second strikeout of the day for Colgate. At least Solomon to start off this Scouts lineup. Back in the bottom of the first inning. Here comes that 1-2, and he gets him. Or did he tip it? No, he got a piece of it.
Got a piece of that just
Got
barely.
a just piece of the tippy top of the baseball, and he's going to stay alive. Good job by Lincoln. Runner on third base. One out here in the bottom of the second. 1-2 pitch. Swung on, hit towards short, and Bravo is going home. They're going to not throw it home. They go to first, and they won't be able to make the out of first. A throw is in the dirt from Mike Vancouver, and that's the first run of the game.
Rounding off the order.
And that's exactly what Lincoln had to do. It was either that or hit one deep in the air, and he hit that one right towards Vancouvering. I'm not sure how to say
Vancouvering.
Yes, sorry about that. Hit right to Vancouvering over at short, and he wasn't able to get a throw to home plate in time. That one either.
So 1-0 Scouts. Lincoln Reed sitting over there at first. So we're going to see if that was going to be ruled. Ruling an error on Vancouvering. Swung on and missed from Miles Wright, who's now at the plate. 1-1 count to the right fielder from St. Edwards. Lincoln Reed over there playing off of first base, gets his lead. Pitch to right. That one's a bit low. Count is now 2-1. Right batting 286 on the year.
Went 1 for 4, and yesterday's doubleheader didn't get the start in game 1, but came in later on and had a at bat.
We're in the bottom of the second with 1 out. 1-0 Scouts against the Hamilton Joes. That one curves a bit high. Yet again, a lot of movement on his pitches. Starts high, can that one misses real on deck. Will get a bat unless Wright hits into a day. Here comes the 3-1 and inside corner for a strike. Wright thought about it, checked it, and it gets called for a strike anyway. And we have another full count. Three-two. Here's the payoff. And that one's going to be handcuffed towards first base. Zimmerman puts it away. The long run by Zimmerman right by the Joes dugout in foul territory, and Miles Wright goes down.
He just tried to get a piece of that when he was kind of handcuffed on that inside pitch. Was able to just get a piece of that. I thought that one might have a chance to just fall harmlessly foul, but Zimmerman was able to get into that one for out number 2.
Lincoln Reed still over there on first base after the error for Mike Vancouvering. First pitch inside corner to Lee Solomon, who struck out looking in his first at-bat to start this game off at the plate for the Scouts in the bottom of the first. We have a 1-0 score with 2 outs, 1 on. Here comes the pitch from Colgate. Also inside corner. Just beautiful pitching. Nothing else you can say.
Yeah,
Colgate in his first start of the year.
This dude can definitely pitch. There's a reason he was drafted.
0-2 count now to Lee Solomon. Good decisions. That one was a low count. Scouts have earned a run, but that was not going to be an earned run towards Colgate as it came on. Here comes the pitch. That was in the dirt, and Lincoln Reed is going to make his way towards second. Bounces off in a pass ball that time.
Pass ball. Yeah.
The Lincoln Reed in scoring position now. Lee Solomon at the dish. 2-2 count to Colgate. Lead off of second base. Inches his way closer to third. Colgate throws, delivered, picked up over there at third base by Young and thrown to Zimmerman. So a good contact that time from Solomon. You hear the nice crack of the bat, but it goes down as an out. And a 5-3 putout will end the Scouts' second. But Jonathan Bravo will come home after a leadoff single, a stolen base where he somehow avoided the tag. And then a wild pitch, and then was RBI at home on an error from Lincoln Reed. Puts the Scouts up 1-0 going to the top of the third inning.
That was a great job by there from the Scouts. Like you mentioned, Bravo got on with the base hit and somehow managed to steal second. He's just amazing at avoiding tags from either the second baseman or the shortstop. And Gilcrease grounded out, but was able to advance Bravo eventually by Lincoln Reed. He had a great hit towards Vancouvering over at short and made him think about it a little too much when he tried to throw Bravo out. And he looked over, realized he didn't have enough time, just tried to hurry it over to first base and get the out, but wasn't able to do so on the errant throw. Then Miles Wright flew out, and Solomon grounded out to end the inning for the Scouts.
We have a plethora of Great Lakes League action tonight. We already saw a first game of a doubleheader end earlier as the Lorain County Ironmen, who stay hot, beat the Cincinnati Steam by a score of 7-4. They're in the second game of that doubleheader right now, just started in the top of the first from McCleary Field. The Southern Ohio Copperheads and the Grand Lake Mariners are tied at gooseheads going to the bottom of the third inning. The Copperheads would lose and the Scouts will win. The Scouts will become the first team in the league standings. And then the Licking County Settlers are up on Northern Ohio Baseball Club 7-0 in the bottom of the second. And the Lima Locals take on the Galleon Graders tonight in Galleon, Ohio.
So that's a lot of traveling for Lorain County. They were up in Flat Rock last night.
Yeah, moving all over the Great Lakes League. And here comes the first pitch from Crawford. That one's in there for a strike. Lance What's the side coming up for the Joes.
It's going to go 8-9-1. Mitchell Vancouvering up to the plate as we speak. Then Daniel Neff and R.J. Thompson.
And Mitch Vancouvering hits it towards Kyle Carnahan at third. Or no, Lee Solomon's going to make the play at short. That one hung high in the sky. Kissed the blue of the background behind those wooded areas behind the fence at Grady's Field here. And put away by Lee. Let's go bring up Daniel Neff, center fielder, the second player from Millersville. He's a Marauder. And the first pitch in there for a strike. So John Crawford working in early on Daniel Neff. Neff came into the game batting 120. That one's going to be hit just foul.
Good effort there by Carnahan. Had that one stayed fair, he would have at least been able to glove that. He probably wouldn't have had enough time to make a play, but would have kept it in the infield, not allowing Neff to advance to second.
But a fortunate break for Crawford. That one was dancing on the line and just decided to hop to the left for an 0-2 count. We're going to do it again here for Daniel Neff. Here comes the pitch. And that one's a bit high. Second day in a row We had a player named Daniel in the opposing center field, as Daniel Watson was in their center field yesterday for the Northern Ohio Baseball Club. And here comes the pitch. It is hit towards Levi Gilcrease in center and put away. So Gilcrease yet again doing what he does best and being rangy in center field. Put that one away shy of the warning track.
And like we mentioned yesterday, it's very rare to hit a ball somewhere in the outfield that Levi cannot get to. When he's in center field, he can patrol just about anywhere out there, and it's a great asset to have.
We're not talking about the entire outfield.
Exactly.
All the way from now. First pitch in there for a strike as we're back to the top of the order with R.J. Thompson from Cincinnati University. Another Bearcat we've seen. Here comes the 0-1 to him. That one's outside for a ball. Evened up at 1 apiece. Thompson, the left fielder. Here comes 1-1. That one's hit high in the air, and White Hogan, Lincoln Reed going to make a play at it, but it's out of play. Bounces off the grandstands behind us. So now the Joes are down to their last strike of the inning as John Crawford yet again wheeling and dealing here. John Crawford, a transfer from Bowling Green State University, played last season at St. Clair Community College, had a great year. Lefty, that one just misses that out so much.
And Lincoln tried to have a nice frame job there, but just wasn't enough to convince the home plate.
2-2, 2 outs. Here's the pitch outside. I'm going to do it again at a full count. So yet another full count for Crawford. That will be his third of the game. Here's the payoff. That one's hit towards Lee Solomon at short. Picks it up, throws. In time to Wyatt Hogan. What a throw from Lee Solomon. He goes to his left, throws with his right, and gets the out. So just like that, another 1-2-3 inning for John Crawford, who has worked 3 so far. He's only given up 1 hit. Hasn't had any walks and has a strikeout. So yet again, as of right now, a solid starting Crawford.
Yeah, Crawford's gone out every single time and had he starts somewhere very close to it. Like you mentioned earlier, hasn't allowed an earned run yet. So as long as that trend can continue, keeps the Scouts in a good place, but they're probably going to want more than just 1 run up on the board.
We're going to the bottom of the 3rd inning in this game between the 2nd and 3rd ranked teams in the league. We'll do it again tomorrow at 7:05 between the Scouts and the Joes right here at Grady's Field. Next time these 2 teams play, so I'll head down to Hamilton for a 2-game series against the Joes. That will be on June 30th and July 1st.
So next week.
Will be next week. I can't believe the 30th is just a week from today.
You're busy broadcasting a baseball game just about every day. We said it before, the days seem to just kind of mesh together. We're not really sure what day of the week it is unless we make a concerted effort to look.
It is a team effort, and we do a good job at it. Here comes Christian Binger to the plate to start this bottom of the 3rd. Looks at that ball. Christian the last time swung on the first pitch and grounded out to Boyd sitting over there at second. Watch that first one go for a ball. Second one go for a strike as Colgate goes. One now to Binger. Swings and turns it towards first. Zimmerman struggles at first, but it wasn't hit very hard. So after initially flubbing it, picks it up with his right hand and bag and puts away Christian Binger.
And that's a trend we see a lot with Christian. And he usually hits it somewhere towards the right side of the infield, whether it's over towards second or over towards first. It usually is over there. It's just a matter of if it gets in the gap.
So Kyle Carnahan is single last time, swings and misses at that one. Something we mentioned in the broadcast yesterday, Kyle Carnahan recently shaved his beard off. It's been given the nickname by his teammates. Here comes the 0-1. Swings and misses at that one.
And hilarious, that meme that Ben Aldridge posted was a picture of Kyle and it said, "Have you seen my hammer?"
And I'm going to call every time he's at the plate, his bat is now his official Thor's hammer until he regrows that beard. 0-2 count now to Carnahan. He hits that one to left field. The left fielder is trying to stumble back, and he can't get to it. Misplays it. Stops before it bounces over the wall for a ground rule double for R.J. Thompson. He ran up a little too prematurely, stumbled, went down to one knee, started backing up. The back pedal was not in time as the ball bounced over his head. So Carnahan is now 2 for 2 with a single and a double.
And two things I want to point out on that one. Looks like Thompson came in and then lost his footing when he tried to go backwards and backpedal towards that. So I think that's why he lost his balance. And the other thing, I don't know if we can call that bat Thor's hammer because Gaunt also uses the bat. Only Thor can use his hammer.
Ah, that's a good point. Lance debunking. Miss one step at a time.
Unless that means David is also worthy enough to use Thor's hammer, which is very possible.
I've called him Superman, so maybe it all just kind of
they all link together somehow.
Links between the Superman at Washburn. Here's the 1-0 to Gaunt. Swung on and rips that one to left field. Carnahan is going to stay at third.
Good decision.
Good decision from Coach Case to hold him there. And David Gaunt also on for his second consecutive time. So 4 at-bats between the Washburn duo, and 4 times they've gone on. Now runners on first and third for Wyatt Hogan. Position he was in back in the first inning, and he grounded out to second base. Only 1 out here in this inning, though. So 1-0 Scouts. Wyatt Hogan at the plate. Here's the first pitch. One swings and misses on that Colgate delivery.
5:30 to 7 p.m. and 7 a.m. to 10:30 p.m.
Wyatt from Hendrix College in Arkansas, originally from California. That one's low in the dirt. Count is now 1-1 on Wyatt. Scouts up 1-0 with 1 out. 1-1 count. Gaunt at first. After the single, and Carnahan on third after the double. Then was single to third. Pick off attempt. Gaunt in the field turf. Good decision. I think a step back would have been tagged out for the second time this season if he would have done that. Good decision to dive into the field turf. Runners on the corners. Here's the pitch. That one's a bit low, so 2-1 Hogan.
Good job being patient at the plate. Works it to 2-1. Have guys on the corners, and they've already stranded a couple, so they need to try and get one of these runs in at least.
Well, he's been very versatile this year, getting the start at first today. We've seen him in left field and as a DH, and that one's away. Inside, now 3-1 to Logan. Seen to Wyatt. I don't even know where I got Logan from. 3-1 to Wyatt. Hogan, that's where it is.
Logan.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
I just added an L in there for the fun of it.
That's okay.
And now it's a 3-1 count with 1 out. And that one's low and away. A bat flip over there to the Scouts dugout. And that's going to chalk the bases.
Next up to bat for
That's the
Scouts.
first walk of the day for Colgate.
Left fielder number 7, Johnny Bravo.
And the first walk of the day for either of these two pitchers. That's going to set up a meeting at the mound between Daryl Grissom, the head coach of the Hamilton Joes, Ryan Colgate, and catcher Zach Hummel. So big spot right now for Jonathan Bravo. Back in the bottom of the second inning, he represents the lone run in this ball game. The Scouts are up 1-0. It's been pretty down. One given up by John Crawford to Hamilton Joes. Joes have 1 error. Could be 2. Very questionable play over there. And short. But 1 out here in the bottom of the third. Jonathan Bravo in a position to do some serious damage and extend the lead.
And I think aside from having gone back up to the plate, who's, of course, over on second base, you'd want Bravo coming up 310 average.
That one's going to go across the plate for Bravo. Colgate, as we mentioned, drafted in the 33rd round of this MLB draft. Swan hit that one towards third. That's dangerous for the Scouts. Second to first. Bravo in time. So he does bring home a run on the fielder's choice. Wyatt Hogan out at second. There was a delay between Mitch Vancouvering and Jackson. The 6-4 looked a little erratic, and that slowed things up for the double play, but it was a perfect double play ball. Bravo does run over there after the fielder's choice. And now it's 2-0 Scouts. It's Kyle Carnahan comes home after doubling as Levi Gilcrease up to the plate. Fouls the first pitch back. Gilcrease grounded out to to third in his first at-bat. Over there to Andy Young. Colgate taking a long time looking at his pitch. Pickoff attempt. Back in time is Bravo. We did see Jonathan Steele already in this game. Back in the bottom of the second.
Might not want to risk it here with 2 outs, even though it's first and third situation.
I don't know if Coach Cates would pull that trigger. Here comes the pitch. So I want to hit over towards third base. And do it for the third, but not before. A couple of hits, a walk, and an RBI fielder's choice extends the Scout lead to 2-0. But yet again, 2 more men left on base. That will be a total of 5 left on for the game. As Lincoln Reed was left on back in the bottom of the second, and then Carnahan and Gaunt left on in the first.
And as long as the get a couple runs every now and then, it's okay to strand guys. You're not going to get every single guy home. If you do, you're going to win every single game by a very wide margin. So as long as they can keep getting guys on, find a way to score a couple of them every now and then, it's going to be enough in the long run to win most of these games. That's something Coach Cates was talking about preseason before we even started playing any games. Teams usually just about get 1/3 of their runs in once they get 3 guys on. When you get 3 guys on, usually one of them will come around to score. If you can get it up to about 40%, so 2 out of every 5 guys you get on, that's when you start to be a championship level ball club. You can be average to below average when you're around the 33% mark, but once you get it up to 40, that's when you become a top tier team in your league.
It's a game of averages lands where everyone is trying to be better than average. As John Crawford stepping out to the mound for his 4th inning of action. And Lance, what's the side coming up for the Joes?
For the Joes, it'll be right in the lineup. It'll be Jackson Boyce. He got a hit in his last at-bat. Hunter Owen, who hit into a fielder's choice. Then it'll be Andy Young, who flew out to Levi Gilcrease to end the first inning.
So 2-0 Scouts here in the top of the 4th inning. Crawford has only given up 1 hit so far, and it was to Boyce. First pitch to him. He shows bunt, and his bunt and foul. It looks like he was trying to pull that one back. A kind of an awkward bunt attempt. He was already about 1/3 of the way towards first base, but it goes foul on that third base line. So 0-1 now to Jackson Boyce, the second baseman from IUPUI. The lefty Crawford, he throws, and that one's well inside. Curves away from Boyce because I thought it might hit him after it came out of his hand. Again, a beautiful day here at Grady's Field. The AIA 1-1 pitch down there for a strike. So 1-2 now to Boyce. Here comes the pitch off the rubber, and he's swinging and missing, and he spikes his back. I've never seen that. He spiked his back right in the field of play. If only he could. That might do a little bit more after that spike. After he struck out swinging.
Yeah, I've never seen something like this before, but not at this level of play.
Here comes the pitch now to Hunter Owen. Now outside for got off a fielder's choice last time. 1-0, and that one's going to swing, hit over towards third base. Carnahan picks up, throws to first. Carnahan moving to his left, throwing with his right, and getting out Hunter Owen. Big play, because I think if that one rolls to Solomon, there's no way he can reach all the way across his body to throw him out in time. So 2 up, 2 down quickly for the Scouts. John Crawford trying to go get his 1-2-3 inning as Andy Young steps up to the plate, swings and misses at the first pitch. Young flew out to Gilcrease in center field. Familiar fate. First, lines and delivers. And that one's low in the turf. Now 1-1. Scouts up 2-0 here in the top of the fourth inning. John Crawford getting his third start of the season, looking for victory number dos. Here comes the 1-1.
That was great Spanglish right there.
I try my best. Here comes the pitch, and it was a strike. Now it's 1-2.
It's pronounced numero in Spanish, not number.
Here comes the 1-2. And that one's low and away for a ball. Count is now evened up at 2 apiece. Here's the delivery, and that's the outside corner, and we're going to have another full count. This will be the fourth full count of the day for John Crawford from Sinclair Community College, a Bowling Green State University transfer from Wapakoneta High School. Here's the 3-2, and that one's hit into the outfield as it gets past the diving attempt for Lee Solomon. Good job by Bravo getting in early to Christian Binger, but a second hit of the day given up by Crawford. This one to Andy Young, the hot-hitting third baseman.
Jake Zimmerman.
That's going to bring up Jake Zimmerman, the first baseman. Runner on first. 2 outs here in the top of the fourth inning. First pitch well outside of Lincoln Reed. Andy Young sitting over there at first base. He does have 2 steals on the year. Crawford looking over towards the bag. Here comes the throw. That one's fouled to the right of us. That one's going to make his way towards the concession stands here at the AIA Sports Complex. This game is zipping by. We're at 7:50 comes the pitch, and that one is a little bit low. Didn't miss by much, but it does miss. And it's now 2-1 to Zimmerman. We're about 50 minutes into this contest, already in the top of the fourth inning. Scouts up 2-0. Here comes the throw from Crawford. That one's in the turf as well. So 3-1 to Zimmerman. And Young over there. Away as well, right to the exact same as a couple of foul balls are trying to make their way towards the concession stand to the right of us, and we have their full count, the second in a row and 5th of the ball game. Foul misses outside. That's going to be a walk of the day from Crawford. So now it's in a little bit of trouble here in the top of the fourth inning.
This is something Crawford has done before, though. The last couple starts, he a guy or two to reach base and then find a way to work out of the jam. So that today, but we have seen it before.
You're right. I think I called him the Magic Man last time. I've never seen someone put runners on first and second with no outs and get out of it so seamlessly as Crawford has done. That's going to bring up Luke Destiny here from Millersville. That one's a bit high to Emling. Millersville Marauder.
Emling does have 2 home runs on the season.
As the Joes are known to jack it out of the park. 2 men on. Here comes the pitch, and that one's outside corner for a strike. Crawford re-finding his composure. 1-1 count. 2. Here comes the pitch. Swung on and tipped away. As Young goes from second to third, but he has to trot on back those 90 feet back to the second base bag because that one was tipped off the end of the barrel from Luke Emling. So 1-2 count. Here comes the throw. That one is way outside. Looks like Emily might check to that one.
Yeah, Crawford's known for working the count kind of however he sees fit. He'll throw a couple waste pitches just to see what happens. I think that's what that one was, and still managed to get a check swing out of it.
2-2, 2 outs, 2 on, lead runner on second base. Crawford trying to get out of the top of the fourth. Here comes the pitch. Just hit back. As Luke was behind the native hitter. That one black fisherman's netting in front of us. Two count now. Well, do it again. Here's a wind in the delivery. Now it's going to hit over towards Solomon. Picks it up. Throws to first time. That's Wyatt Hogan. Puts it away. And a little bit of danger for the Scouts as they give up their first walk and second hit of the contest. But with runners on first and second, Lee Solomon throws the grounder to Wyatt Hogan to end the top of the fourth inning. And the Joes have yet to put a run across the board.
The Joes have stranded 3 guys on. They stranded 2 just now in the top of the fourth and stranded 1 back in the first.
So that's going to take us to the bottom of the fourth inning. Ryan Colgate still on the mound. The Panther from Ohio Dominican making his first start in GLSCL action here in the Great Lakes League. Cleveland Indians in the 33rd of this year. Today he has 1 strikeout, 1 walk, 4 hits given up, a couple of runs, 1 earned, and a wild pitch. Scouts with a 2-0 lead. And Lance, what is the side coming up for the Xenia Scouts?
For the Scouts, should be Lincoln Reed, then Miles Wright, and then Lee Solomon. I think Levi Gilcrease ended the third choice, and Bravo was out at second, so hence why it's ruled a few.
Gilcrease, Levi's brother, going to stroll over to first base. The first base coach and a former
Lincoln Reed a couple years ago.
Leading off
First
the
year
bottom
with
half
the
of the
Scouts.
fourth for your Xenia Scouts, the catcher, number 20, Lincoln Reed.
Here comes Lincoln. Batting left. Swung on and missed. That one was low and away. Lincoln couldn't help himself from that one. It's an 0-1 count. Colgate throws, and that was lined over to right field, and Lincoln Reed is single on.
Piece of hitting there from Lincoln Reed, hitting from the left side, switch hitter against a right-handed pitcher. In front of Owen out there and right for a base hit. And he'll stand at first base as Miles Wright comes to the plate.
Miles Wright, last time up, flew out in foul territory to first base. Lincoln is standing over there. Here comes the pitch, and that one's hit toward Vancouver, thrown to second, and there it is. The 6. Lincoln was right. Coovering went to Boyce, and then to Zimmerman.
Solomon.
So Miles Wright set today.
Just an unfortunate one on that and hit it right.
As that one's going to be fouled off of by Lee Solomon, who's today we're at the Lee is struck out looking in the first, and then ran out the third and the second. Scouts up here in the bottom of the fourth with 2 outs, 6-4-3 double play. 0-1, and that one's going to be fouled. That one's rocketed back to the black net. Colgate getting tall on the mound. That one's going to be hit to the outfield. So Lee Solomon gets his first hit in his third at bat. And as you're seeing go to right inning.
Second baseman.
So that'll be the 6th hit of the day given up by Colgate. 5 have been singles and 1 double. That brings up Christian Bing. That one's going to be thrown over first. Keep Solomon honest over there.
Solomon very active on the base pass. Does have 4 steals, but has been caught a couple times.
Binger, another lefty, and they're going to throw to first again. Solomon safe again. That one's low for a ball. So 1-0 count here. Scout Lee Solomon base to see if they try to put him on the move, and that one's outside as well. 2-0 now.
I wouldn't think 1 outs. But we'll see.
You never know. We saw a 3rd strike bunt at the pipe yard in Lorain County. Here comes 2-0, and that one's outside corner for a strike, so it's going to make it 2-1 now. Christian Binger, the second baseman from Southwest Baptist University. Solomon does have on the air. That one's going to be in the dirt. They can't find it. Zimmerman is perplexed. But luckily, the ball doesn't bounce too far from it. Could have been on the move to second. Do it again at 2. Standing at home. Looks at strike 2. Christian on the year with 2 walks, the most on the team. Solomon with 4 stolen bases, which is now 2nd most on the team, with Jonathan Bravo, who stole earlier today, has 5. Here comes the pitch. That one's inside, and we're going to have another full count. We've had a myriad of full counts in this contest. As scenes over at first base. The 1 runner on, 2 outs here. Payoff pitch incoming. Scouts up 2-0. He's in their game against the Joes. Here comes over towards shortstop, and there's a collision. And now at least someone's going to advance to third.
So that would be infield hit.
Ruled in for single.
Way off the bag, so like it wasn't an attempt really.
We're going to wait to see what's ruled.
I think we're going to go to hit at least on the scoreboard.
It's called choreography. So Binger's now 1 for 3 in the contest. 7th hit of the game given up by Colgate. And Carney. And it stays in left way towards third. Carnahan trying to extend it to a double, and he'll be there. Kyle Carnahan is perfect so far with his 2nd straight double in consecutive innings. And the Scouts extend their lead to 3-0.
The designated hitter number 17,
Like
David.
on a tear. The first might be ruled an error. It was eventually ruled a hit, but 2 straight doubles from Carnahan puts him at 3 for 3 on the contest.
So the Scouts start out their inning with a double, 6-4. Put 2 down within 3 straight hits. Have them in action still. Runners on 2nd and 3rd. 3-0 score. And once in the dirt for David Gaunt. Gaunt, who's 1 for 1 today with a hit by pitch, so he's been on both times. Between him and Kyle Carnahan, they are 5 for 5 at getting on base. Here comes the pitch to Gaunt. That one's skied high out of play. Now, 8 hits on the day given up by Cole and 2 earned runs. 3 runs total. Carnahan sitting at 2nd. He did a good job extending a single to a double. Christian Binger at 3rd was on his horse. Here comes the pitch to Gaunt. Down the middle for a strike. So Scouts down to the last strike of the inning. 1-2 now to David. Can do some more damage here. Here comes the pitch, and that one's a bit low. Good eye from Gaunt. It's going to easily went golfing at that one. Okay, trying to get out of the bottom of the 4th inning, as the Scouts have scored in 3 consecutive innings. Got one in the 2nd, one in the 3rd, and now 4th. David Gaunt trying to add on the board. Here comes the pitch, and that one's lined over to left center field, and that's going to bring home a pair. And we have a 5-0 ball game, folks. Then the Baby Blues have blown it wide open at Grady's Field. The Xenia skipped the Hamilton Joes by a score of 5-0, and the Washburn duo has been nothing tonight.
Yeah, Davies hitting there. Didn't have to force up his contact swing and puts that Vancouver out there at short. And it's going to burn him out. We'll see if that results in a pitching change. But, yeah, they have made Ryan Colgate very average, like an average Joe, since that first inning. He started off very hot in that first inning, was able to get them to go down pretty easily after guys on. Hasn't looked as great as he did in that opening inning, and the Scouts are now putting it to him.
And David Gaunt already with 2 RBIs today. He was our player of the game in the 2nd game in the doubleheader yesterday. Also had 2 RBIs.
That'll put him in tops in the league.
I believe that should put him at number 1 standings in RBIs. We'll try to check that real quick.
So I think the game, and then he got 2.
Yeah, he'll have 2. So it'll all to Murray for the Lima Locos tonight, but Cole Nito of the rank today also in play too, because he's in. So do we know leading the league in RBIs with 18? Here comes White Hogan, and poor shortstop Vancouver throwing the fielder's choice will end the inning, but not before the Scouts score. They put 3 across the board and now lead 5-0, and we're going. So this was a big game between these 2 teams. This Coach Grissom is meeting with his team right now. The Scouts look ready to roll. There's no fatigue after that doubleheader all the way in Lorain County, about a 3.5-hour drive. The Scouts didn't get back to around 2 o'clock this morning, maybe later.
Excuse me, sir. Is there anything playing out there? Is there anything playing?
But now the Scouts have a 5-0 lead as they
Hey, Jeff?
look very in control.
Your computer will not play Spotify. It's playing.
As Crawford is about to have his 5th inning of action.
And you talked about how the Scouts don't look
I got playing.
tired out there. I think it probably helped that we got to sleep in a little bit today. Didn't have any responsibilities unless you were getting treatment earlier on in the day, so didn't have to be here at the ballpark until 4:30. So nice day of sleep, and I know we didn't get home until sometime after 2, after we headed out to Lorain County last night. So probably a good thing that the coaches let us sleep in and recuperate after the long night. We had the doubleheader last night again in Lorain County against the Northern Ohio Baseball Club after their field was flooded. So great day so far. They have a 5-0 lead heading into the 5th. So see if they can keep this up.
Zach Hummel.
And Lance, what's the side coming up for the Joes?
It'll be 7-8-9 for the Joes. It'll be led off with Zach Hummel. Then it'll be Mitchell Vancouver from Kalamazoo College, and then it'll be Daniel Neff from Millersville.
And here comes the first pitch from Hummel. That one is skied high in the air. Lee Solomon looks like he's trying to track that one down. Called off by Jonathan Bravo, who puts it away in shallow left field. So 1 pitch, 1 out for John Crawford, who's in his 5th inning of action, 3rd start of the year.
Shortstop, number
He's gone 6 innings, his first 2 starts. We'll see if he does the same tonight. As Mitch Vancouver is at the plate. First time in there for a strike to Vancouver from Kalamazoo College.
Kalamazoo, Michigan.
And here comes the 0-1. in the dirt, evens it up at 1-1 as we see the pellets fly off the field turf. Count is now 1-1. Scouts leading 5-0. 1 out here in the top of the 5th inning. That one misses away for a ball. That is now 2-1 to Hummel. Here comes the next pitch, and that one is going to be skied over towards right center field, and is going to drop for a single. Miles right picks it up, throws it in. Excuse me, that was Vancouvering, who's on first base now.
Daniel Neff.
There wasn't much the Scouts could do on that one. Levi Gilcrease was playing a little bit over towards left field, so when that went in between him and Miles out there at right center, neither of them were able to get to that one in time.
So Daniel Neff will come up to the plate. The right-hander flew out to Levi in center field last time he was up. First pitch is outside for a ball from Crawford. Crawford just gave up his 3rd hit of the game. It's pitched 4 1/3 here. As the sun begins to set in Xenia, Ohio, and a throw over to Wyatt Hogan. A pick-off attempt just to keep Vancouvering honest. And winds and throws, and that one's we hit. Nice grab by Kyle Carnahan, and he doubles them up. What a play. Kyle Carnahan throws to Wyatt Hogan after the unbelievable grab. Wyatt grabs it and then tags out the runner because he was off the bag. The Scouts doing a little bit of everything in the defense.
Guess who's getting Spider-Man?
Kyle Carnahan, because that was an unbelievable web gem. And then a nice play, underrated play by Wyatt Hogan over there because the throw back was a bit high. He had to come off the bag, grabs it, and then tags out Vancouvering for the double play. So a 5-4-3 double play on the unbelievable play by Kyle Carnahan, who's already 3 for 3 with an RBI today. Some days, everything just works out for you, Lance.
Yeah, he's having a fantastic day. He's had a couple off days where he just hasn't been able to put the ball where he wants to off of his bat. He'll hit a lot of ground outs, a couple fly outs, and might not have the greatest of days, but so far it's all coming together. 3 for 3 at the plate, and a nice play in the field last inning. So great job so far today for Carnahan.
I believe we have a new pitcher on the mound. 6 or 16, Lance?
6.
6, okay.
That's why I put 5, 1, 6.
Thank you. As we're trying to communicate non-verbally, wasn't working out. So for those of you listening at home, you can tell Lance and I start working things out too.
Nonetheless, it looks like they will have a new pitcher for the Joes.
It'll be Danny Hentz, a right-hander from right down the road in Dayton University. He's a flyer, 6'3", 185, originally from Cincinnati, Ohio. He's going into his sophomore season. So 48 innings pitched by Colgate. And the Scouts hold on to win in his first start of the season. The pitcher picked by the Indians is going to be given a loss.
7, Johnny Bravo.
As Danny Hentz is in the game.
What's the guy's name?
So Hentz is going to be delivering to Jonathan Bravo. That one bounces off the turf for a ball. Danny Hentz now on the mound.
A quick note, entering the game to pitch for the Joes, number 6, Danny Hintz. Hintz now in the pitch for the Joes.
So now 1-0 to Bravo. Here comes the second pitch from Hentz, and that one's a well inside. Brushes back Bravo. He does a bit of a limbo.
Just a bit inside on that one.
A bit inside, you're right, Lance. Here comes the 2-0. Bravo swings and misses at that pitch on the outside corner. Here in the bottom of the 5th inning, the Scouts with a 5-0 lead have been in complete control. Here comes the 2-1, and that one curves. So the second pitcher we've seen with a beautiful curveball from the Joes. Here comes the next pitch. That one's in the field turf for a ball. Count is now 3-2.
Good job from Bravo, working it back to a 3-2 count.
Bravo 1 for 2 on the day with an RBI and a run scored, and he swings and misses at that strike as he goes back to the dugout for the first time in the ball game after the full count. So first batter, first strikeout for Danny Hentz, a righty from Dayton. Now comes Levi Gilcrease, 0 for 2 in this contest. Shows bunt. Doesn't pull back inside corner for a strike. Center fielder came into the game batting .207 from Baylor University. Comes to 0-1, and that one curves a bit low for a ball. So 1-1 with one out here. Finding up the Scouts, and that was well inside. Looks like there's going to be some activity in the Scouts bullpen. We'll try to see if we can figure that out over here. We'll give you an update at home as soon as we do. 2-1 count now to Levi. Swings and chips that one, and that one's going to just get out of play. Luckily for Levi, it was a big charge by Hentz and Hummel to try to get on before it exited fair play.
We've got Thomas Wanning out warming up in the bullpen. Don't know if he's going to come in quite yet. It's still just the 5th inning. Could expect another inning or two from Crawford, who has went 6 innings in each of his first 2 starts.
2-2 count, even up for Levi Gilcrease, as we're going to have a time from the home plate umpire. Levi always touches that field turf, trying to wipe off his sweaty hands to get a better grip on the bat. And here comes the wind of the delivery. That one's going to be driven to left field and out of play. Levi and the unfortunate side of that foul line. It's going to remain 2-2, and we'll do it again. So Ryan Colgate goes 4 innings, gives up 4 earned runs, 5 total, 9 hits, a walk-in, had 1 strikeout in his first action of the year for the Hamilton Joes. And here comes the delivery to Gilcrease, and he checks, and he's running towards first base, and it's going to be put away by Simmerman. So a strikeout to Levi Gilcrease, who's now 0 for 3 today, and that's going to be the second consecutive strikeout to start the game. Hence, we already have 4 innings. Now that's going to bring up Lincoln Reed, who was 1 for 2 in this game, got on with an error back in the second with an RBI, and that one curves into the strike zone. 0-1 now to the Taylor Trojan, Lincoln Reed. 0-1 count, Scouts down to their last out of the bottom of the 5th. Swung on and missed on that inside pitch. Fouled away. So Danny Hentz came in for relief here in the bottom of the 5th inning and struck out his first 2 Scouts. Jonathan Bravo and Levi Gilcrease, the left fielder and the center fielder, now taking on the catcher, Lincoln Reed, and has gone up 0-2 on him early in this count. He's a righty. And here comes his throw. That one's a bit low. So 1-2 now to the seasoned scout, Lincoln Reed.
Yeah, I found it. We're good, baby. We're good.
2 outs, 1-2 count. We're going to do it again for Lincoln Reed. Here comes the pitch well outside. That curve does not come remotely close to the strike zone, and we're evened up at 2 apiece. 2-2 count for Lincoln Reed. He swings and misses at that one. So 3 straight strikeouts for Danny Hentz, and he retires the side. A pretty impressive performance from the righty from Dayton University.
Yeah, he came out and struck out Bravo, Gilcrease, and Lincoln Reed to start off his day here in the 5th inning. And that, like you mentioned, Colgate just had 1 strikeout, and that was the first batter he faced in the game in Lee Solomon. So we'll see if Hentz can repeat that back in 6th.
So John Crawford comes out for his 6th action a few times in this broadcast. He went 6 innings in his first 2 starts of the year. He went 1-0 in those 2 contests. The first one, a 6-1 victory over the Southern Ohio Copperheads here at Grady's Field. The second one in that 14-inning miracle of a game against the Lorain County Ironmen. That one went 14 innings. Crawford pitched the first 6. Crawford lives about an hour and a half away, and Wapakoneta didn't get to stay to see the crazy finale that was that game. Joey Levitt pitched 7 innings in relief, and then Ben Aldridge pitched the 14th inning before Christian Binger tripled and came home to score on a wild pitch. One of the most dramatic wins of the year for the Scouts. So since that game was scoreless into the 13th, Crawford did not get the win in that one, even though he went 6 innings strong with no earned runs. And now he's through 5 innings of play, so he's been through 17 innings without giving up an earned run on the year. And if he gives up one in this inning, that's completely my fault.
Yeah, that's absolutely correct, Harry.
So we're back at the top of the order for the 3rd time of the game for the Joes. R.J. Thompson, who is 0 for 2. That one is hit towards the Scouts' dugout. 0-1 count. Thompson, left fielder from Cincinnati University. Seems like we always see a Bearcat in opposing teams' lineups. Here comes the 0-1 from the lefty Crawford. That one swung on and hit towards Lee Solomon. Short, picks it up, scoops it, throws it, and gets him out. Lee Solomon's been worked over there at shortstop, and he's single time.
That'll be the second straight time Thompson has grounded out to Solomon.
The familiar opponent. As the lefty Jackson Boyce comes to the plate, he struck out last time and then spiked his bat like he scored a game-winning touchdown. Except for he struck out, so slightly different. So here comes the pitch from Crawford. In there for a strike. John Crawford has not let up at all, has shown no signs of fatigue. As we're entering the 6th inning, pitch 5 1/3. Here comes the next pitch, right down the middle again. Crawford joined this team late and has been a welcome addition to the staff. 0-2 count. Here's the pitch. Swung and fouled towards the Joes bullpen. So Jackson Boyce will stay alive. He's part of that murderers row from 2nd through all batting 400 and above coming into today. There's the 0-2 pitch, and that one's lined over. Levi Gilk going to bounce in front of him. The day for Boyce as Levi throws the first base. The live gun in center field. So Wyatt Hogan was able to pick it up as it was a big round off that time from Boyce, and Levi Gilchrist says, "Hey, you get back to free best," extending that to 2nd. So
off his arm, make sure they don't try and run.
That's a good point. Owen Lincoln picks up, throws to 2nd, but off the bag. So we still on base time from. We're gonna roll that pass ball.
Yeah, Lincoln fumbled around with that one in the dirt before he took off.
So if 1 out here in the top of the 6th inning, a pass ball. Jackson Boyce in scoring position at 2nd. There's been 4 hits given up by Crawford in this contest. 2 of them have been to Boyce. It's had a pretty solid game. Now stands in scoring position. Plate who's open. Here comes the throw to Owen. That one's going to be flown over there. Shallow right field. Miles right on the sprint. And he can't get to it and stays in play. Miscommunication between the 3. Miles right, Wyatt Hogan, Christian Binger all running at it. Might have lost it in the sun. But it just floats down to the field turf, and that's going to be a single for Hunter Owen. You got to feel sicker if you're John Crawford on that one, because now you have another runner on. 3rd.
And that spot down short right field, and you had a bunch of people in that one, and had someone just probably taken charge, one of them could have found a way to get that one.
The Scouts are in their most danger of the ball game. Here's the pitch to Andy Young. A little bit low for a ball. Young singled last time, got to second after Zimmerman, who's on deck, walked.
This is not the guy you want up to the plate with 2 guys on.
Andy Young with 4 home runs on the year. Here comes the pitch to him. That one swung and hit to deep left field. Drawn from Bravo, going back, and it hits the wall. They're going to send home the first run, getting into Lee Solomon. That's going to do it. So 1 run comes across of the year, and
It's
that's
not even
my
his
fault.
It's your fault.
Yep, you're absolutely right, Lance. I jinxed it right before the top of the 6th. And runners on second and third after the double from Andy Young, and Murders Row has all got hits to start this 6th inning after the RBI double from Andy Young.
This will bring a reading on the mound from Coach Cates. We'll see how much longer the leash is for John Crawford.
He's gone 6 innings in his first 2. He's looking over at the bullpen right now. Thomas Wanning warming up. He played the role last night. 5-3 victory. Pitched the 8th inning, got 3 grounders in consecutive order.
Yeah.
Got runners on second and third right now. And with
Quick announcement from the concession
Jake Zimmerman coming up to the plate, who walked last time, I wonder if they'll think about walking him again to load the bases and put a double play ball situation in. So the Cardinal Otterbein College has a chance to put the Joes back in this one and scores 5-1 Scouts. They were cruising along until this top of the 6th on a beautiful night for baseball in Xenia, Ohio at Grady's Field. Jake Zimmerman, the righty, facing the lefty Crawford, just gave up his first earned run of the game. Here comes the first pitch to Zimmerman. He's right back at Crawford. It goes past his glove. Solomon picks up, throws the first. What a play by Solomon to get the out. I don't know how he got to that one in time. He moved like a cheetah to get to that gap because it went right above the second base bag. That will plate Hunter Owen, and now the score is 5-2.
Now batting is the designated
As that
hitter.
quick comebacker from Zimmerman could have been dangerous.
That's absolutely right. I think they benefited by somehow being able to get Zimmerman over at first. It does score Owen, but that could have easily went into the outfield. That could have scored another run.
5-2 Scouts. Emling up to the plate, and that's going to be hit over towards Solomon again. Hits it on the 2-hopper, throws the first, and again, Lee Solomon, the shortstop extraordinaire, recorded all 3 outs in this inning, as the first out of the inning was R.J. Thompson. That was a 6-3 as well. So what an inning from Lee Solomon, with the Joes do plate 2 runs, and they cut the lead to 3 as the Scouts lead 5-2 as we're going to the bottom of the 6th inning.
For the Scouts coming up in the bottom of the 6th of 9-1-2, it'll be Miles Wright, who is 0 for 2 today. He flew out to Zimmerman over at first and then hit it at a 6-4-3 double play back in the 4th. Then it'll be Lee Solomon, who just made a bunch of great shortstop. He'll be coming up to be Christian Binger. Both him and Solomon their last at bat. Same thing for the couple guys and David Gahn.
Let's can talk about the first inning of pitching from Hentz.
And the first inning of pitching from Hentz was phenomenal. He got Gilcrease and Lincoln Reed to all strike out swinging. He was working with a lot of great pitches. Saw at least a fastball, curveball, and a slider off of his right arm. So see if he can keep that going. And already has 3 strikeouts, and he could get some more here soon.
Rounding off the order,
So Miles Wright will come to plays at a rough day so far. 0 for 2, grounded out into that 6-4-3 double play earlier. I believe that's the second time this year he's grounded into a double play. Looking for his first hit of the game. That was well inside. Almost hit him. So 1-out count to Miles Wright. To thank the Wright family if they're listening at home as they normally do. Here's the 1-0. That almost hits him again. Curveball almost nicked the blue jersey of Miles Wright.
Almost skirted back in the strike zone as well.
That just tells you how much rotation it has on the ball. So 2-0 count here to Miles right. Here comes the pitch. That one's low in the turf. The pellets pop up like popcorn. So it's 3-0 here to Miles right.
Pop up like popcorn.
I'm very descriptive, Lance. 5-2 Scouts here in the bottom of the sixth. 3-0 pitch, and that just catches the inside corner. Miles right fielder from St. Edward's University in Austin, Texas. Comes the 3-1 swung, and that's going to be hit towards center field and put away. So Wright will now be 0 for 3 in the contest. Daniel Neff didn't have to move very much to put that one away.
Yeah, he put a good swing on that one, but it just happened to hit it right at Moorhead out in center field. So did a good job getting a nice piece of that one. Just happened to hit it right at the center fielder.
So 4 up, 4 down now for Hens as Lee Solomon comes to the plate. Shows bunt. That one was well inside. He had to jump out of the way of that one.
That tells you once again just how much curve is on that ball.
Hence the righty on the mound. Solomon last time singled. Start off that great inning. Now it's inside corner, a strike. Lee Solomon single came around to score, then Binger single around, come home to score, and Carnahan doubled home a run, and then Dot single home 2 runs. That one hits Lee Solomon.
Hit him on the back.
Hit him right on that number 3 in the back of his baby blue jersey. Lee Solomon will get on in consecutive at-bats after the second hit by a pitch of the day for the Scouts as David Gaunt was being back in the first inning.
I definitely think we're going to see Solomon on the move. Don't know if it'll be in the fashion of a stolen base or a hit and run, but I feel like Solomon's going to be on the move on this one.
So I see the arm from Zach Hummel, a Mountaineer from Appalachian State maybe. The first pitch is outside corner for a strike to Binger. Binger singled his last at bat, 1 for 3 in the day, and he was singled home on the 2 RBI shot from David Gaunt. Lee Solomon over there first with a decent lead. Steps off, and that one's going to be jammed towards center field and put away by Neff for the second time of the inning. The Binger is going to go 1 for 4 now after that fly out to center, and that's going to bring out Kyle Carnahan. Today we saw him make an unbelievable double play back in the 5th inning. In an RBI double. Back in the 2 outs here. Bottles. That was a bit high, but they're going to say it's in the strike zone.
It's not the first questionable strike call this inning. I'll tell you that much.
Carnahan had a exasperated gasp after that one as well. I think he disagreed with the home plate up, but here comes 0-1. That one's in the field turf. At least Solomon looks like he might go for 3. No, he thought about it.
If had got to the bat stop, he probably would have.
As Hummel originally let the ball get past him, Solomon looks like he might already be on the move. Thought about going for 3 there. He did around second base and then realized, might want to hold up as the ball's only a few feet away from Hummel over there by home plate, but he does get to second. Shows off those hot wheels he has. And is now in scoring position here of 2 outs for Kyle. 3 for 3 for an RBI. Double. Yeah, 2 doubles on the day. Curves back in for a strike. It's now 1-2 to Carnahan. Solomon over there in scoring position at second. A shortstop from Lipscomb, originally from Columbus, Ohio. Here comes the 1-2, and that one's going to be dribbled over on the foul side of that third base line. So we'll do it again at 1-2. Second. Went to Columbus Academy in Gahanna, Ohio region in Columbus. Originally from Iowa. There at Young, he throws the first down today. That will do it for the Scouts in the bottom of the 6th. Miles right flies out to center. Lee Solomon's hit by a pitch, gets to second on a pass ball. Binger flies up to center 2. And then bases Kyle Carnahan first out of the day.
And Crawford is back out on the mound.
First time of the year we've seen Crawford 6 innings. In the 7th inning, the Scouts lead 5-2. Last inning, but this is the part of the order that he'd like to face.
Absolutely right. He had to go through the murderer's row, as we've called them, in that 6th inning, and they with hits aside from Zimmerman, who scored a run on. So now he's going to be facing Hummel, who's batting a modest .300. He's not hitting all that great. Then we Mitchell Van Covering coming up to the plate, and then Daniel Neff, center fielder, who's made a couple nice plays out there.
Vancouvering, Lance.
Vancouver.
Struggling with that one.
It's a hard one. So
Crawford will be out there for his 7th inning of action, as Lance just informed y'all. List first 2 starts of the year. This is number 3. He has given up 1 earned run, which we're crediting to me as I jinxed him before that last 6th inning.
Completely your fault.
And we talked about Murderer's Row. All 4 batters, 2 through 5, batting over 400 this year for the Joes. And even on Zimmerman, who grounded out to Lee Saul, unbelievable, right back at Crawford. But here comes Hummel. Crawford right in the middle for a strike. Oh, that one is hit towards Solomon. He can't get to that one, so a leadoff single by Hummel for his first ball game. And puts first base in the 7th hit total given up by Crawford.
Solomon did everything he could to try and get to that one. It went across his body towards his right side. Just wasn't able to get to that one in time.
That's going to bring up Vancouvering. The first pitch is outside for a ball. He singled last time as well before being doubled up on that 5-3 double play from Daniel Neff, who's on deck right now. As Kyler Carnan caught it and threw to Wyatt Hogan, who applied the tag to Vancouvering. That was way outside off the glove. Lincoln Reed, and that's going to put Hummel in scoring position.
That would be a wild pitch, as that one way up too high, and Lincoln couldn't get to that one.
So wild pitch from John Crawford, his first of the game. And he saw him as soon as he threw it, he knew it was wrong as he bent over at his waist, one he wishes he had back. So now a 2-0 count to Vancouvering. The shortstop was 1 for 2 today from Kalamazoo College. With Hummel over there on second base. Here's the 2-0, and that one's going to be hit into right field territory and into the Joes bullpen. There's a couple of Joes over there. I don't know if anyone's warming up. Can't really see.
Yeah, I can't tell. Maybe someone is, but it's blocked off.
Interesting note about the Joes pitching staff: 2 6'7" pitchers and 1 6'8" pitcher, which would be the tallest we've seen so far in the Great Lakes League. Runner on second, no outs, and that one's going to be a hit towards Miles right in right field. Can he get to it in time? And he can! Miles right with the diving grab. Full extension for Miles, who ran about a mile to grab that one for the first out of the inning. And now Kyle Carnahan, seeing third base, knows he has some contention for the Spider-Man award.
Yeah, they're going to be fighting over it after this game.
Wow, what a play by Miles. He went all out for it. It was all or nothing. That bounces back to the right field. That's going to score Hummel, and it's probably going to put Vancouvering at third. But he's out as that one bounces in the turf for a ball to Daniel Neff, who's 0 for 2 in this contest. But man, let's go back to the catch. As Miles right. We need to talk about it a little more. All the way sprinting in right field, diving into the turf. Probably some turf burn after that one. And was somehow able to come up with it as the second pitch goes low for a ball to Neff. 2-0 count to him.
And Miles will probably just have some more of his lean body protein tonight to make up for that one.
Yeah, try to regain what was lost. Diving after that unbelievable out. And that one's going to be turned to Kyle Carnahan at third. He throws to first to Hogan, and he puts him away. So 2 down now for the Scouts. And we talk about it all the time. Seems like on first batters, maybe even second batters, John Crawford puts himself in trouble and works his way out of it. This time, first of all, great fielding from Miles, right? It was a bloop hit to right field from Vancouver, and it looked like it was going to drop. No, says Miles. Right catches it, and that stunned Zach Hummel over there at second. And then the ground out to Carnahan, and we're back to the top of the lineup. First pitch for a strike to R.J. Thompson, who struggled today. He's 0 for 3. Left fielder from Cincy. Crawford on the mound. Here comes the throw, and that one's in there for a strike. As Thompson has some words for the home plate up, he thought it was a bit high. I did as well. I think he has a bit of an argument for that one, but down to 0-2 regardless. Here comes the 0-2. That one's going to swing over towards Lee Solomon. Picks up, throws to first. Gets him in time. Lee Solomon is a machine at shortstop. And yet another putout. Ends the top of the 7th for the Joes. And they're down to their last 6 outs of the game to try to come back against the Scouts. We're going to the bottom of the 7th inning.
You know what time it is.
And it's time for the 7th inning stretch. And the Scouts leading 5-2. Go ahead, Lance.
That's the 3rd straight time Thompson's grounded out to Lee Solomon over at shortstop. 3rd straight time.
It's unbelievable. That was a slow roller. I thought Kyle Carnahan was going to pick it up from third. And Lee Solomon somehow gunned down the lead. Speed. And we're going through the 7th inning stretch right now. It looks like we have a new pitcher on the mound. Nice packed crowd here at Grady's Field supporting the Scout. As Hensel out of the Bill Small 5'10" righty from State.
Entering the game to pitch for the Hamilton, number 22, Will Small.
A couple of solid innings from Danny Hens, who pitches 2 and puts down all 6 batters he faced. Excuse me, put down 7 as he did hit Lee Solomon last inning.
So a good 2-inning stretch from Hens. Like you mentioned, only guy he allowed to get on the base pass was Solomon, and he was still stranded, so didn't allow any runs to score coming in on his relief effort.
And did have 3 strikeouts out as well, so that tripled the total of Ryan Colgate that he put up in his 4 innings. And now comes Will Small, the righty, the 5'10", 160 righty from Middle Tennessee State, the Blue Raider, the junior originally from Atlanta, Georgia. I was just talking about the size of this Joe's bullpen, and what do? They throw out the smallest guy in their 17-pitcher staff.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Obviously. So Will Small.
Designated hitter number
He's got the right last name for it.
He does. I was trying to think of something clever to say about that, but I got nothing. Thank you, Lance, for the assist. That's
right in your wheelhouse.
That's a 6-3 from Lance Morris to Terry Lash up here in the press box. If you're scoring on your announcer's scorebook at home.
Is that a thing?
It's not, so I do hope you're not scoring. As coming into the plate is David Gaunt. He's going to be the first batter that Small faces. David is 2 for 2 with 2 RBIs on the day. He's gone on all 3 times.
He's doing okay.
As a side-winding pitch from Small. Likes to throw sidearm. Standing on that rubber here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Scouts up 1-1. Here comes another pitch, and that was swung on and missed from Gaunt. The second pitcher he's seen today is he did not get to go against Danny Hens. So 1-2 now to Gaunt. Here comes the pitch, and that one's turned towards third base. A slow roller. They're going to throw it, and Zimmerman catches it to put him away. So a quick turn that time from Young to Zimmerman. sits down Gaunt for the first time of the ball game.
Now batting the first baseman, number 34, Wyatt.
That's going to bring up Wyatt Hogan. He hit into a fielder's choice last time.
5-3 up.
And he is 0 for 2 today with a walk. One down here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Scouts up 5-2. Here's the first pitch, and that one's going to be fouled off the ankle of Wyatt Hogan as he goes down. Takes a little bit of a tumble. That one's got to hurt. You might have a bruise tomorrow morning after that foul off his ankle.
And luckily, they have him over at first base instead of left field, so won't have to have too much mobility over there first.
So Hogan's going to try to walk off the pain, stepping around the batter's box. It was his left ankle that was hit. Retapes the gloves, tries to kick it off, and steps back into the box. So Wyatt Hogan up for his 4th time today, 0 for 2 with a walk. One down here in the bottom of the 7th inning, 5-2 Scouts. Will Small on the mound. Here comes the pitch, outside corner for a strike. Third pitcher the Scouts have seen today from the Joes in their black jerseys with the yellow and red numbering in their gray pants. Scouts in their baby blues and whites. That one swung and chopped over towards third base and Young, and he's going to throw to first in time, just barely. You have to wonder if
Did he stay on the base long enough?
he must have, Lance.
'Cause he came off the base.
He did.
That's not debatable. It's a matter of if he stayed on.
Zimmerman did come off the base when he made the catch, but his back heel must have left there. Wyatt Hogan almost ran that one out. And he had to wonder if he wasn't a previous foul ball, would he have been able to lag the second to third down here in the bottom of the third, and Jonathan Bravo at the plate. And he's going to head that one to third as well. So a 1-2-3 inning for Andy Young as he sits down Bravo. And we're going to the 8th inning. The Scouts 6th inning can have him put. Don't have a
into the ball game here in the 8th inning. Lead on Crawford, Thomas pitch, and a roll. Came into the 8th inning last night, game 2, against the Northern Ohio Baseball Club, and got all 3 guys he faced to ground out. 2 of them, Christian Binger over at second base, so hopefully we can see a repeat performance of last night from Thomas Wanning.
So it was 7 innings pitched today for John Crawford, his longest total of the year. 7 hits given up, 2 strikeouts. A little bit low for him, and 1 walk, which is his lowest total of the season as well. So another great start for Crawford. Thomas Wanning on the mound. He did a great job yesterday coming in relief in the setup man role. Something we talked about yesterday a little bit. Coach Case loves it when he throws 1 inning. He's had some struggles this year. That's usually when he goes after the first inning against the low.
And coming out there has some very distinctive look. Has the stirrups, although recently wearing went out there through hit ball.
Subtweet.
Even though he's a couple feet over from me, so he knows.
Pitch from Wanning. And Lance was the side coming up for the Joes here on the top of the 8th.
For the Joes, it'll be right back in that murderers row. Jackson Boyce, Hunter Owen, Andy Young coming up for the Joes.
They all got on last time with hits. First pitch went away. That one does as well. Quickly 2-0 to Jackson Boyce, who's 2 for 3 today. And is somehow looking 423 batting average. That one outside as well. So quickly 3 balls to Jackson Boyce. Wanting coming into this game with 7 walks on the season. He's 11.17 ERA. Here comes the next pitch to him, and that one is a 4th consecutive ball. So he's going to walk the leadoff batter, Jackson Boyce.
Right fielder, number 11, Hunter
An auspicious
Owen.
start from the righty from Xavier. So now coming up to the plate is Hunter Owen, who's single last time up, came around the score. First pitch for a strike, the first strike of the appearance of Thomas from Wanting. Double play ball is set up. We have seen double play scouts from the stretch. That's Carnahan is going to left fielder. Going to hold up Boyce over there at second. So a single by Hunter Owen. His second hit of the day.
The cleanup batter, third base.
The Murderers Row is off to a good start, just like they were in that 6th inning where they plated a couple of runs. 5-2 score right now. Top of the 8th. No outs. With runners on first and second for Andy Young.
This is the same situation he came into last time he came up, except there was guys in the corners instead of at first and second.
And he had a double. Young is 2 for 3 today. Came in batting .404, leads tied for the lead in the league. Home runs with 4, and that one hits him.
That might have been the better move, in all honesty. Didn't have to hit him, but probably better than actually pitching to him.
So for the second straight time, the 2, 3, 4 batters all getting on base, and the bases are loaded with no outs here in the top of the 8th. Murderers Row living up to their reputation for their good hitting as Zimmerman's coming up to the plate. Remember, he hit a comebacker at Crawford last time, a very well hit ball that I think in any other team is going to go to center field, but Lee Solomon at shortstop somehow ranged over to the second base bag to pick that one up. And it looks like we're going to have a meeting between the entire infield. Lincoln Reed, Wine, and head coach Bubba Cates. Now you're going to definitely try to get a double play ball here. Give up a run. Once again, thank you for everyone who is watching our broadcast at home. Xenia Scouts come into this game with a 12-4 record. Hamilton Joes at 9-5. These teams 2-3 in the league standings coming into today. Scouts were dominant throughout until the 6th inning when they gave up a couple runs, and Thomas Wanting's coming out of the game. Thomas loads the bases, and kind of like we saw of Joe Chasen last night when he loaded the bases with no outs. It's getting replaced, and Joey Levitt's coming into the game. Joey Levitt coming to replace Thomas Wanting, so a quick outing for Thomas. That's 3 batters on. So any of these runs scored, I guess Joey Levitt will be Wanting. And his toughest spot of the season with bases loaded. No outs with a 5-2 lead in the top of the 8th inning. Joey from Cypress College. Prayer tonight. Did a great job.
So does that count as just 1 inning, 1/3 of an inning pitched? Since there's no outs, or does it? Because he came in to pitch.
We'll let Jeff worry about that one, Lance, as he's our stats guru. And Joey Levitt now on the mound. Last time we saw Joey was yesterday against the Ohio Northern Baseball Club in that first game. He came in and pitched 1 inning after he replaced Hugh McGrath. And then the game was closed out by Joe Chasen.
It looks like Chasen and Campbell each also warming up in the Scouts bullpen, ready to come in if Levitt can't shut the door.
Remember, Tony Campbell came in that game yesterday with bases loaded and no outs and struck out the first 2 batters. Campbell new to the team. Joey Levitt has been one of the most relievers for the Scouts this year. He's been like Advil, giving relief to the Scouts all year long.
Say Advil?
I did say Advil. It should be sponsored. I'll work on that. Runners on every base. No outs. Top 8. 5-2 Scouts lead. Joey Levitt on the mound. Here comes the windup and the throw outside to Zimmerman.
Zimmerman 0 for 2 on the day, an RBI in his last at bat in the 6th inning.
Levitt would love to get a double play ball right here on the ground. Here comes the second pitch. Swung on and missed. Joey Levitt fires it by him. Joey's parents were with us the last week. We got to talk to his dad, John, extensively yesterday during that rain delay. A great guy, the scout for the Minnesota Twins, also a former AIA player. 1-1 pitch, and that one is not going to pad inside corner. Just misses. Lance didn't think it did. I thought it was very close, but a 2-1 count nonetheless for Levitt to Zimmerman. 2-1 now. Winds and fires down the middle. That one's going to be hit towards center field. Levi Gilchrist cannot get to it in time. He's going to throw it in. They're bringing home the runner. They're throwing to Lincoln Reed. And he can't get there in time, so it's going to be a 2 RBI single.
That's the first time we've seen a throw from Levi Gilchrist that good that wasn't able to get him out. Lincoln just wasn't a perfect throw from Levi, but very close to. And that's the first time we haven't seen it just nail the guy at the plate. I thought that one was going to nail it.
So that's going to bring up a pinch hitter in the game for the Joes. Kevin Dupree, who's a pitcher.
Interesting.
Try to check out his stats here. That one's going to be lined over to Jonathan Bravo, a fly ball in left field. That puts him away. So Kevin Dupree, who does have batting stats this year.
It's only for the DH, so that's like not like he has to go play the field or anything.
Well, he has played this year, so it's not unfamiliar for him. Actually hasn't pitched this season. He's listed as a pitcher, but he has only batted. He has 38 at-bats on the year. So a bit of a quagmire. Kevin Dupree, the pitcher, who flies out to left. So 1 down now, 5-4 Scouts trying to hang on to this game. Joey Levitt in the pitch. That curve just misses to Zach Hummel. Runners on first and second. Double play ball in effect to the catcher who singled his last time up. That one's outside for a ball as well. So 2-0 now to Zach Hummel.
Hummel did have a base hit his last time up back in the 7th. Hopefully for the Scouts, Lightning doesn't strike twice.
So 2-0 now for Joey Levitt. Those 2 runs just given up will be credited to Thomas Wanning, started this inning. That one's inside for another ball. 3 straight balls to Hummel. 1 out here with bases. Runners on bases at first and second. Hummel from Appalachian State, 1 for 3 on the day. 3-0 count. Here comes the pitch from Hummel on. Excuse me, the pitch from Levitt to Hummel. Hummel is already walking towards first base. That one I thought was in the strike zone. Looks like it was the lower quadrant of it, but 3-1 count now to the catcher, Joey Levitt. Trying to get out of this jam. Here comes the 3-1 pitch, and that one is outside a bit too far in the first walk of the day from Joey Levitt. He's going to load the bases again. The Scouts only up by a run, 5-4 here in the top of the 8th inning. And as Mitch Vancouver is up to the plate. 2 runs already come across here in the 8th inning. Vancouver, that one's outside. Good stop in the turf from Lincoln Reed. That would have scored the tying run. 1 out here to Levitt. Scouts need to turn a double play if they want to leave this inning with the lead intact. 9 hits apiece for these squads. 1 error on the Joes, who have found their bats here in the 8th. Bases loaded. 1 out. Here comes the pitch, and that one's right down the equator for a strike. 1-1 with 1 out. One here to Vancouver. Now one's going to be chopped over to Carnahan, but foul. That might have set up a double play ball because Carnahan could have picked it up, tagged the base at third, and thrown to first for another 5-3 double play. But that one went foul. 1-2 now to Vancouver. And here comes the pitch, and that one's going to be lined to left field and foul. That one curves, and the Lady Luck sings for the Scouts here in the top of the 8th inning because that would have been the lead for the Joes. Probably would have brought in a couple of runners. The anticipation is building. I think this is the biggest crowd we've seen all year here in Xenia, Ohio. This game against the Joes. 1-2 count. Now to Vancouver, and here comes the pitch from Levitt. Swung on and just tipped. Foul. Got a bit of the stitchings on that one. Scouts had a 5-0 lead in this ball game. Now it's 5-4. The Joes have come all the way back. They have loaded the base in this inning. 1 out. 1-2 count. Here comes the delivery. Swung on and missed and is in the dirt. And that's going to sit down Vancouver. First strikeout of the day from Joey Levitt, the righty from Cypress College, who redshirted this year.
And he absolutely needed that one after dodging a couple hundred towards Carnahan that just went foul and one was hit down the left field line. Also just went foul. So playing with fire a little bit that time. Second out.
He's 0 for 3 today. Bases loaded. That one's inside for a ball. Scouts are not out of it yet. Runners on every single bat as the lights come on here in Grady. Now to Neff with the lead. Here comes the pitch from towards Lee Solomon, a short, throws it to Binger at second. They do get out of it. They get out. The bases loaded jam. They give up a couple of runs, but still have the lead. And you have to think that's a victory for Joey Levitt coming in relief.
Yeah, it's absolutely right. Came in a big moment with the bases loaded, just like Tony Campbell did last night. And like you mentioned, if you only allow to score, you're doing a pretty good job. That's exactly what happened with Levitt. Did allow Zimmerman to reach base with the hit. Ended up walking. Hummel had a fly out before that from Kevin Dupree, pinch hit. Then was able to get Vancouver. Finally got that right. Got him to strike out, and then fielder's choice to end the inning as it over to Binger at second for the final out. So Scouts still in the lead, narrowly 5-4.
Levitt came into relief for Thomas Wani, who gave up a walk and then a single and then hit Andy Young to load the bases. Then that 2 RBI single from Zimmerman ended Murderer's Row, and after that, not a hit was given up by the Scouts. A walk was, but they were able to work out of that bases loaded situation.
And so the problem with that is now most of that Murderer's Row is going to come up to the plate in the 9th inning.
You're right. Murderer's Row starts with the number 2 batter, Jackson Boyce, and extends all the way to the number 5 batter, Jake Zimmerman. That's where all the hitting has come today from the Joes. But we're going to the bottom of the 8th inning. The Scouts trying to add some insurance runs before Joe Chasen most likely comes in this game to try to close it out. Lance, what's the side for the Xenia Scouts?
For the Scouts, it'll be 7-8-9. It'll be led off by Levi Gilcrease, who struck out in his last at-bat. That was back in the 5th. And Lincoln Reed will come up after him. Same thing for Lincoln. He struck out his last at-bat also in the 5th. And then it'll be Miles Wright, who flew out to center to start off the 6th.
Half of the 8th inning for your Xenia Scouts. Center fielder
So here comes
6,
Levi Gilcrease.
Levi Gilcrease.
Trying to get on base for the first time today. here in the bottom of the lineup. First pitch to him from Will Small is a bit low. So it's a 1-0 count to Gilcrease. Between Gilcrease, Reed, and Wright, they are 1 for 9 today. That one's going to be fouled backwards. Scouts with a 5-4 lead. They were trailblazing this one all the way up where they gave up 2 runs, and then again in the 8th where they gave up 2 runs. Are still holding on to that 1-run lead, and that one's inside from Small. Good eye from Levi. Now 2-1 to the center fielder from Baylor. Small in a second inning of relief. 2-1 pitch. Inside as well. Make it 3-1 now to Gilcrease. Small only faced 3 batters in this first inning. All of them grounded out to Andy Young over there at third. 3-1 count. Here's it, and it's inside. Levi Gilcrease walks. For the 9th time this year, that ties David Gaunt for second on the team, both 2 behind Christian Binger. Excuse me, I was looking at the wrong column. The 10th walk of the year, not the 9th. 10th walk of the year for Levi Gilcrease, 1 behind Christian Binger. As Lincoln Reed's going to lay down a bunt, that's going to be fouled back towards us. Blocked by the netting in front. Again, a beautiful night here at Grady's Field. Runner on first base. Lincoln already showing that bunt. He's going to pull it back, and he's running his Gilcrease. He's in there easily. Gilcrease with a big lead. And a stolen base from the speedy center fielder.
And that was a nice play there from Lincoln. He had the bunt already ready to be laid down, pulled it back, and Levi was on the move, and I think that threw off Hummel a little bit behind the throw, and Gilcrease was there in plenty of time.
So 1-1 Lincoln Reed. He's 1 for 3 in the ball game. He has a single and an RBI all the way back in the second on an error.
Got to wonder if the bunt is still in play with a 1-1 count.
I would think it most likely will be. The first and third baseman still playing in, and that one's going to be outside corner for a strike to Reed. So 1-2 now to the Taylor Trojan in his 3rd year of the Scouts. He's probably been in this position time and time again in the baby blue, and he's past the shortstop. Is a line drive, and Gilcrease is on his way home. No, he's not. He's going to hold off at third smartly. He came out final strike. Safe as day. So runners on first and third. Levi Gilcrease, single of the day from Lincoln Reed, who's now 2 for 4. He's had a great day at the plate.
We want to talk about guys who've been in this situation time and time again. It seems like Miles is always coming up to the plate in the late innings with a guy or 2 on the base pad. So we've seen Miles come through in this situation before. We'll see if it happens again.
Miles Wright, no stranger to the climactic moment here with runners on the corner. No out. Small with the pitch in there for a strike. 0-1 now to Miles Wright, who's trying at the plate. He's 0 for 3 so far. Levi Gilcrease sitting over there at third. Will Small gets his pitch. He throws it inside. Swing on and miss from Wright. Right down to his last strike. I love to try to get a blooper over the infield. Bring home Levi Gilcrease and extend this 5-4 lead here in the bottom of the 8th inning. No outs for the Xenia Scouts. Here comes the 0-2. Swung on a hit to left field. Gilcrease will tag. And he's coming home. Here comes the throw from left field. Not nearly in time. And the sac fly from Miles Wright is going to extend the lead to 2. And give Joe Chasen, who's warming up in the pen right now, a little bit of wiggle room.
That's exactly what we needed in that situation. And obviously, a base hit would have been a little better, but with nobody down, the sac fly, perfect move there from Miles Wright. Didn't know if that would quite get deep enough into left field, but it was able to. With speedy Levi Gilcrease over at third, got there in plenty of time to score another run.
So 6-4 Scouts lead here in the bottom of the eighth. Lincoln Reed at first. Lee Solomon at the dish. 1 out. First pitch to Lee. Shows the bunt. He bunts it down, and that's going to paint the line, and it's going to stay in. What a bunt from Lee Solomon. Is that one tiptoes on the tight wire, and he's able to get his second bunt single in consecutive days. That was the best bunt we've seen all year, Lance.
That was easily the best bunt we've seen all year. He laid that down, and everyone for the Joes was going to wait for it to go foul, and it just stopped right in fair territory. Once it stops, it's not going to move unless there's a magic gust of wind or something, so that didn't happen. So perfect bunt there from Lee Solomon.
Talk about a man who's familiar with the moment. Christian Binger at the plate. Watch the first go away for a ball. Christian Binger just has that Grady's field magic. He's had a walk-off against the Locos this year and then had the game-winning run after a triple and a pass ball the other day against the Ironman. Runners on first and second, swings and puts it to right field. No! Picked up by the second baseman, and what a play! He got him! Unbelievable job by Jackson Boyce. I don't know how he got to that.
Neither do I. I thought that was going to get through for a base hit.
I said it was going to get through for a base hit. I thought it was passed. I have no idea who was able to come up with that ball. And then the extension by Jake Zimmerman on the first base bag as well. That does move the runners to second and third, though, as Solomon and Reed will be in scoring position for Kyle Carnahan. Carnahan 3 for 4 today. Has an RBI. First pitch from Small, and that one's going to be hit high into the air and put away at second base by Boyce. So Boyce with back-to-back plays and single-handedly ending that Scouts' danger, because if Christian Binger singles into right field, you got to think that Lincoln Reed's definitely coming home. Maybe Lee Solomon's coming home. I don't know. I mean, Lee has so much speed, but definitely would have been over there at third at least.
Entering the game, the
Christian at first, but doing.
Number 27,
and we're going to the top of the ninth. And Joe Chasen will try to get another save. Yesterday he got his save in game number 1. Came in to get the save in the second game, and he put the first 3 batters on and was replaced by Tony Campbell. We'll see if this outing is more like the first or the second game over there at the Pipe Yard in Lorain County.
For the Scouts, you're going to have to hope so. Don't have as much of a cushion as they did in game 2. Just a 2-run cushion right now for the Scouts. So going to have to definitely hope it's more like game 1, because the Scouts can't afford to let them hit home a couple of runs, because otherwise the game could be tied, and even worse, the Hamilton Joes could take the lead.
Yeah, he could, Lance. Now put the Scouts up on the bottom of the 9th. But Joe Chasen try to close things out here. Lance West side coming up for the Joes.
For the Joes, like we mentioned, it'll be 1, 2, 3 back to the top of their order. It'll be R.J. Thompson conspicuously grounded out to Lee Solomon his last 3 at-bats. Then it'll be Jackson Boyce, who actually came around to score back in the 8th. It'll be Hunter Owen, who had himself a base hit and also came around to score last inning.
So Joey Levitt goes 1 inning of pitching. He gives up a couple of runs. Both of those will be earned to Thomas Wanning. He had 1 walk, but he also had a strikeout. He got a couple other batters. So a great outing overall from Joey Levitt, inning of relief. And now we've seen a time of Joey Levitt, quickly followed by Joe Chasen. And the Scouts are hoping that's going to close things out today at Grady's Field. And it wouldn't be a Xenia Scouts baseball game at Grady's Field if there wasn't some late inning dramatics. As we have a bubble blowing competition to the left. Hugh McGrath running unopposed against Dewey Doval. Top 9 here at Grady's Field. The Scouts trying to extend their record to 13-4 on the season. As Thompson comes up to the dish.
Top half of the ninth, we approach the top of the Hamilton Joe's batting order. Up to the plate is the left fielder, number 2, R.J. Thompson.
So here comes R.J. Thompson. Joe Chasen facing him for the first batter he's had all day, and the first pitch is low for a ball.
And some scoring updates around the league. The Grand Lake Mariners on top of the South Ohio Copperheads 5-3 in the top of the ninth, and Licking County 11-1 also in the top of the ninth.
At the Copperheads lose, Scouts win. Scouts are now number 1 as that pitch is foul backwards to the backstop. Evens the count up at 1 apiece here for Chasen, who's trying to get another save.
And in game 2 of their doubleheader, the Lorain County Ironmen on top of the Cincinnati Steam 3-0 in the top of the 8th.
And that one is up 2 in the wheelhouse of Thompson. Count is now 2-1. Joe Chasen on the mound, the big righty from Hillsdale College. He throws inside, just misses the inside corner. 3-1 now to R.J. Thompson. He can't afford to give a leadoff walk with Murderer's Row sitting behind R.J.
Definitely want to get this guy out first. Don't want to have anyone else on base for them.
6-4 lead for the Scouts here in the 9th. Here's the pitch. Now as we head towards Carnahan at third, he dives, gets it. He's going to throw to first. In time, Kyle Carnahan is a man possessed at the hot corner. He dives into the field turf and throws to Hogan to hose out the first batter of the 9th inning.
I think he might have officially wrestled that one away from Miles Wright for a possession of Spider-Man after another great play down to the hot corner from Carnahan.
The second unbelievable play from Kyle, who also has 3 hits on the ballgame. Have a day, Kyle Carnahan. As Jackson Boyce, who's also had a day, 2 for 3 for a walk, comes up to the plate. Here's the first pitch from Chasen. Outside corner for a strike. 0-1 with 1 down here in the top of the 9th. 6-4, your Xenia Scouts. Going for victory number 13. Here comes the 0-1. A bunt attempt. And that one's going to be fouled backwards. So 0-2 now to Boyce. He was in this position back in the 6th inning. And he hit a single after having the 0-2 count.
Maybe he'll pull a Kyle Holdsworth and bunt with 2 strikes.
I don't think we'll see that here like we saw yesterday against the Northern Ohio Baseball Club.
We didn't think we were going to see it yesterday as well.
That's also a good point, Lance. Boyce does have some speed. He just made an incredible play at second base to end the 8th inning. 0-2 pitch. Here comes Chasen's throw, and that one's a bit high. Boyce stays off the high gas from Joe Chasen, the Charger from Hillsdale College in Hillsdale, Michigan. Joe originally from Hawaii, moved to Georgia, now in Xenia. 1-2, and that one's going to be hit towards left field, and that's going to be a single. Boyce's stellar day continues, and as he was handcuffed on that one, somehow able to pull it oppo to left field.
Now batting right.
Yeah, I really don't know how he was able to get a good piece of that one. Like you mentioned, that got him in on the hand. Somehow was able to poke that out to the outfield. So I guess that's just one of the situations where you say that's where that comes from, the weight room, just being able to poke that one out to the outfield with it right in on your hands.
Hunter Owen now at the plate. Here comes the first pitch to him, inside corner for a strike. There's no bones about it. This Hamilton Joe's team has some hitters in this 2 through 5 spot of Murderer's Row, and they can do things that most teams can as a pickoff attempt over their first to Wyatt Hogan to try to get Jackson Boyce. Nothing doing, though, as the second baseman stays at first. So a big swing and a miss.
So we'll have to see if Owen can come back with the 0-2 count. He's got Boyce over there on first after his hit. So have to see what Joe Chasen comes back with.
0-2 now. It's swung on and miss. No, he tipped it. Oh, no, he tipped it. Just got the logo of that baseball on that one. And he fouls it behind him. We're going to do it again at 0-2. Another pickoff attempt. That was high. That one high to Wyatt Hogan. And that's going to go in the corner. And he's going to stay over there at second. So an error on Chasen. You got to think. Lincoln Reed normally playing first base. Joe Chasen might be more used to him as the first error of the day of the Scouts comes at the worst possible time with the tying run at the plate. Double play ball no longer in effect to end the game as Jackson Boyce is sitting over there at second. Lincoln Reed stands about 6'3". Wyatt Hogan around 5'10", 5'11", so a big difference. Now you got to think that might come into play with Joe Chase on the pickoff attempt. That one's going to be hit to deep left field. Jonathan Bravo working his way over there, and it's foul. Oh,
thankfully,
my.
That was a rocket.
Hunter Owen got every last molecule of that ball and hit it out of the park. But the left field foul pole is friendly to the Scouts. So we're going to do it again at 0-2 after that dramatic pitch. And that one is high from Chasen. Is now going to be 1-2. Hunter Owen with 2 homers on the year, 13 RBIs. One of the leaders in batting average in the entire league. I think he's number 2 with 475 coming into today. 2-2 on the afternoon. Here comes the pitch, and that one is inside. No, it hit him.
Sounded like it hit off the bat.
We thought it might have hit off the bat, but that's going to send Hunter Owen. I think that's what Lincoln Reed is saying as well, and Coach Boa Case might be saying the same exact thing. They thought it might have hit the bat, not the body of Hunter Owen, who played it pretty well. He might deserve an Academy Award over there at first base. But now runners on first and second after the hit by a pitch.
This dude strokes, dude. This guy.
And now Andy Young at the dish. Tied for league lead in home runs with 4. And his last about Young was hit by a pitch. That was by Thomas Wanning in the top of the 8th. And his 2 at-bats before that, he had a RBI double and a single. So Young is 2 for 3 with a hit by a pitch.
Now to the plate for the Joe.
They can't appeal that?
Third baseman,
just to make sure.
30.
I don't know what they're going to do as the home plate umpire's call. So runners on first and second. 1 out. Joe Chasen in a tough spot here. Here comes the first pitch. In there for a strike.
Joe's done a good job of going at these guys with first pitch strikes, but just hasn't been able to find a way to sit them down.
1 out here for Chasen. Top of the 9th. Scouts up 6-4. Here's the second pitch. Swung on and missed. You can see the dirt come off the glove of Lincoln Reed.
Don't give him something to hit 0-2, because if you do, it's going to be out of the park.
You don't want to throw the ball down the middle here for Joe Chasen. Looks at second, throws towards home, and that one's going to be fouled. It was about a half swing that time. It looked like he might have wanted to check it, hit off the end of the bat. We're going to do it again at 0-2 to Andy Young. Chasen trying to get his first strikeout of the game on that rubber. 0-2 count, 1 out, top 9. And that one's going to be fouled up high in the air. Lincoln Reed will not be able to make a play that is hit behind above us here as he listened to it bounce off the top of the grandstand. We're going to do it again at 0-2. Andy Young staying alive.
Throw something out of the zone and see if you can get him to chase it. That's really all you can do, because if you throw it anywhere near the zone, he's going to put it somewhere. It might not go fair, but he'll definitely get a piece.
And here comes 0-2 count. That one's low in the dirt. I think he might try to give him a chase at that low pitch.
Worth a shot.
And 2 now to Andy Young. Joe Chasen with runners on first and second, trying to hold on to the 6-4 Scouts lead and come out of Grady's field with the victory. Here comes the 1-2. That one's going to be hit to deep left field. Jonathan Bravo going back, and it's gone. Andy Young with his 5th home run of the year. That leads the league and breaks the hearts of the Xenia Scouts, who now trail 7-6. And Murderers Row has been just that. As the last 3 times they've been at the plate, it has been nothing but Joes.
And that's heartbreaking. That's absolutely heartbreaking. There's no other way to get around it. He left one hanging, and Andy Young made him pay. 5th home run of the year. Takes the lead in the league with home runs.
Scouts still have a shot in the bottom of the 9th inning, now trailing in this one 7-6. They led all the way up to the 6th inning of action, 5-0. And then in the 6th inning, the 8th inning, and now with 3 runs here in the 9th inning, the Joes have found their swing and now lead the game. Now, Scouts are going to have to come back, but they still have business to finish here in the top of the 9th, as Murderers Row still has one more member. That will be Jake Zimmerman, who's up to the plate. He had that 2 RBI single last time he was up. 1-0 now after that pitch is low from Chasen, who's on the walk that one off, and that's also low. 2-0 now to Zimmerman after the 3-run shot by Andy Young. The Chasen will not get the save in this one. 0-2. That 2-0 pitch is fouled to the right. 2-1 now to Zimmerman. That was a 1-2 count, which was 0-2 most of the time. Andy Young just unbelievable batting at the plate before he hit it out. That one to be fouled backwards. We saw one earlier from Hunter Owen that should have been out as well. It was out of the park, but just a bit foul. That time, Andy Young took deep to left field. 2-2 count now evened up for Jake Zimmerman. Scouts can't afford to give up any more runs. A curveball swung on and tipped backwards into the net. Zimmerman stays alive at 2-2. Jackson Boyce, Hunter Owen, Andy Young, and Jake Zimmerman here all batted over 400 coming into this game. And all of those batters except for Zimmerman will improve their averages somehow. As Boyce went 2 for 4 in this game with a walk and scored a run. Hunter Owen went 2 for 4, was also hit by a pitch, and Andy Young went 3 for 4. Now it's behind the sky. And Gilcrease puts it away for the second out of the inning.
Danny Hintz or whatever. Kevin Dupree.
As Kevin Dupree is going to come up for a second time today.
Kevin Dupree.
And here comes the first pitch to Dupree, and right down the middle for a strike. And you can just feel the wind being taken out of the sails for the Scouts, but they're going to have to regroup as they have the bottom of the 9th to try to steal this one away from the Joes. And that one's hitting the outside corner for a strike. 2 curves right in the zone from Chasen. 0-2 count, 2 out Scouts trail, 7-6 in the the top of the 9th. That one misses outside, 1-2 to Kevin Dupree, who flew out to left field the last time he was up. From Chattanooga, Tennessee, here's the 1-2, and he checks that one. So we're even up at 2-2. Joe Chasen trying to get out of this inning after giving up the 3-run bomb to Andy Young, his leading 5th of the season. And here comes the pitch, and swung on and missed. Chasen ends the inning with an exclamation point, getting his first strikeout against Dupree, but not before the damage was already done. Joe scored up of the 9th and take the lead to 6th. And will there be more late game heroics for the Scouts, or will they go down again the bottom of the 9th like they did against the Mariners the last time they were home?
Well, we've seen some late game magic from the Scouts before, but the wind was really taken out of their sails after that one. They're going to need to come back with the fire that they've had when they came back and won those other couple games, like the game against the Locos first weekend of the season. They were trailing a good chunk of that game after a home run was given up earlier in the game by Dylan Donnelly. So they found a way to come back and win that one. There's been other late game heroics, so we've seen it before. Don't know if we'll necessarily see it again, but we do have a good batter coming up to the plate, David Gaunt, who has just as much power as Andy Young does, so he can potentially tie this ball game up if he gets the right pitch.
David Gaunt coming up to the plate. He has 4 home runs on the year. We have into the game. And we'll try to see who. So Will Small goes 2 innings strong, gives up 1 earned run, has 1 walk, gives up 2 hits to the Scouts. Coming to the game will be Chase Thurston, the righty, the second smallest pitcher on this team, 5'11", 180 from Eastern Illinois, one of 2 Panthers. This lineman.
So since we're getting all the small pitchers today, it means we get the big ones tomorrow, right?
Most likely. Thurston from Danville, Illinois, went to Danville High School.
Crowd's coming alive.
They feel the energy in the Gaunt. Comes up to the plate. Gaunt today is 2 for 3 pitch and has 2 RBIs. We'll let you get a 3rd RBI here in a solo shot. Scouts down 7-6 here in the bottom of the 9th. First pitch to David. That one's high from Chase Thurston. Here comes the 1-0. Swung on and missed. Big swing from David Gaunt. With his family here in attendance today at Peace Field of the AIA Sports Complex. 1-1 pitch to David. And they're going to appeal to the first base umpire. He says he did not go.
No chance he went around on that one.
Check to swing, and the count is now 2-1. No one you'd rather start your inning off with than David Gaunt. Came into the game batting .365, 2 for 3 in this contest with a couple of RBIs. Scouts team, you'll love for him to get on base here. On deck is Wyatt Hogan, who's 0 for 3 in this contest with a walk, and then Jonathan Bravo, who's 1 for 4. He's also scored and stolen a base. We have a 2-1 count now to Gaunt at the plate. Here's the 2-1, and that one curves back in for a strike. So we're even up at 2 apiece to David. Scouts down to their last 3 outs of the game, as the Joes have scored 7 here. Here comes the next pitch. The swung on and tipped backwards. Good job to stay alive from David, as that one was coming back into the zone.
Yeah, it was fortunate to get even a piece of that one on another great pitch from Thurston.
Thurston, the 4th pitcher we've seen of the day from the Joes. Here comes the 2-2. That one curves and is a bit high. Unbelievable poise from David Gaunt at the plate. That pitch. Full count.
That one just missed, so great eye from David to take that one and see if he can get a fastball here with a 3-2 count.
The most important payoff pitch of the game incoming to David Gaunt. And that one's high for a ball. So the tying run is sitting at first base in David Gaunt.
And I think that definitely made his dad happy, because his dad was saying that he tends to strike out at least once a game, and so far he hasn't struck out, so maybe he just needed his dad's watching eye to not strike out.
Now it's going to bring out Wyatt Hogan, and you have to think that the bunt's going to be laid down, as the third baseman Andy Young's already playing in. David Gaunt over there at first. They need him in scoring position, so I think the bunt is most likely. And we won't see it, as that pitch goes a little bit high. Wyatt did walk earlier. That was back in the 3rd inning. Scouts down 7-6, no outs, runner on first base. David Gaunt on for his 4th time today. Here comes the pitch, and that one is in the zone for a strike. Chase Thurston going right at Wyatt Hogan. As Coach Taylor Hargrove has some words for Jonathan Bravo, who is on deck right now. Scouts trying to pull off some magic here at Grady's Field, down by a run. 1-1 count to Wyatt Hogan. Chase Thurston on the mound. He delivers. That one's in the turf. Count is now 2-1 to Hogan.
Go Wyatt.
And this is, of course, pending if he can get on base. But you got to think if Wyatt does get on base, someone would pinch run for him.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right, Lance. No activity in the Joe's bullpen. So they're going with Thurston. David gone over that first. He's going to get back, and the pickoff attempt is not in time from Chase Thurston. Thurston from Eastern Illinois University. 2-1 count right now. Another pickoff attempt, and back in time is Gaunt standing on that one. He has been picked off once this year in the 3-2 loss against the Copperheads in Southern Ohio.
I got 2. It's 2-1.
2-1 count to Wyatt Hogan.
Come on.
Here comes the pitch, and that one's in the dirt as well. Looks like it was kicked away. A little bit of soccer with that baseball. But a 3-1 count now for Hogan, who would love to get back-to-back walks to start off this inning. 3-1 count taking from Thurston. David Gaunt sitting on first base after the leadoff walk. Thurston trying to close things out for the Joes, who went ahead on the go-ahead home run from Andy Young back in the top of this inning. We're in the bottom of 9, 7-6. And he swings and hits that one towards third base. Picked up by Young. He's going to throw the first. That one's high, and he somehow steps on the bag. Zimmerman over there at first has done a great job maneuvering around the first base bags. That one was high, and I thought he might be off of it, but was able to tiptoe down, and Wyatt Hogan will be retired, but he does put David Gaunt at second.
Bravo.
That's exactly what this guy's needed. Like Dewey just set up here in the press box. It's the same as a sacrifice bunt. It just hit a little differently.
Yeah, it's not going to go. It's one on the scorebook. Well, the scorebooks get flown out the window in the bottom of the 9th inning with a 7-6 ball game. 1 out now for Jonathan Bravo, who's 1 for 4 with a single and a run. Thurston throws it, and that one cuts right down the middle with that breaking ball. 0-1 count now to Bravo. He grounded out to third last time. Comes the second pitch, and that was swung on and missed. And someone couldn't find it at home plate. David Gaunt straightened over there at second, so quickly 0-2 to Jonathan Bravo. Levi Gilcrease on deck. He's 0 for 3 in this game and walked the last time he was up. Came around to score. Jonathan Bravo at the plate. 0-2 count. Here comes the pitch. Swung on and miss, and Bravo goes down. First strikeout of the game for Chase Thurston. And it's all on the broad shoulders of Levi Gilcrease.
Levi Gilcrease.
And he just has to remain patient up there because if you can get on base, you can make something happen. So you need to be patient up at the plate. Levi leading the team in strikeouts, so he just needs to wait for his pitch up there.
Chase Thurston with 20 strikeouts on the season. First pitch to Levi, and that's outside corner for a strike. Scouts down to the last out of the inning. Tying run on second in David Gaunt. Thurston now tied for third in the league in strikeouts. 0-1 count to Levi, trying to get his first hit of the ball game in his most important time. 0-1 pitch from Thurston, and that one's low in the turf. 1-1.
Great job from Hummel keeping that one in front of him. As long as it doesn't get too far away from him, David's not going to be able to move over there at second.
Lincoln Reed on deck. Lincoln is 2 for 4 today, and he singled his last time up. So he has a hot bat. Will he get to see the plate? Levi Gilcrease in the batter's box right now. The right-handing center fielder from Baylor. We did see Levi go down swinging, and the Ohio Copper has to end it down in Athens. Here comes the 1-1 pitch to Levi. Swung on and missed. So 1-2 count. Scouts down to their last strike of the game. It all lays on the bat of Levi Gilcrease. He swings it a little. Here comes the pitch. And that one's low. Oh, boy.
Good eye from Levi on that one. Looks like that one might be something you want to chase, but did a good job laying off of that one. Makes the count 2-2.
Breaking ball in the turf. Hard to lay off of with 2 strikes against you. And when you're representing the last out of the game, he did strike out looking in that game against the Copperheads. He doesn't want another repeat of that. But what an unbelievable eye from Gilcrease to even up at 2 apiece. Thurston looks at second. Here's a 2-2. And there's a check swing. They're going to say he went. They're going to say he went. Oh, and that's going to leave a sour taste in the mouths of the Scouts, as it did not look like he went on that one.
That brings us to the conclusion of tonight's
And the umpires are getting out of Dodge.
Athletes in action in the Xenia Scouts Baseball Club. We want to thank you for your attendance. And
So that will do it, folks. 7-6. The Scouts lose after an unbelievable comeback from the Hamilton Joes on a heartbreaking called strike 3 to Levi Gilcrease. And that's a tough one to swallow for Scouts fans. And Kyle Carnahan will be our player of the game. But, Lance, it's hard to even speak after that comeback. The Scouts allowed a 3-run blast in the top of the 9th and were unable to play David Gaunt with 1 out over at second base. And they're going home losers in this contest. But now go to 12-5 on the year. They'll try to get revenge tomorrow against the Joes. And so we'll have a 7:05 first pitch tomorrow night right here at Grady's Field. But, man, that's a heartbreaker.
Heartbreaker is exactly the way to describe it, Terry. The Scouts were leading this contest the whole way until that 9th inning from the Joes, where they broke it open with a 3-run bomb off the bat of Andy Young. And that was about as much of a no-doubter home run as you can have. Same kind of thing happened for Hunter Owen right before him. Just managed to have it a little bit to the left of that left field foul pole. Luckily, that one dropped foul. But otherwise, just a heartbreaking loss for the Scouts. No other way to describe it, Terry.
No, the Scouts led 5-0 going all the way to the 6th inning when the Joes began to mount their comeback. Played it 2 in the 7th, 3 in the 9th due to that blast of Andy Young, and it was Murderer's Row. That was the difference. The 2 through 5 batters in this contest were just unstoppable. Talk about the days that Murderer's Row had, Lance.
Murderer's Row had just fantastic days. There's no other way to say it. Young, of course, topped it off with a 3-run home run and a single, so he was really close to hitting for the cycle. Was just a triple short of the cycle. Hunter Owen had a couple of hits to his record. Same thing for Jackson Boyce, had a couple hits to his record as well. I think I count 3. So another just great game from the Joes from the middle of their order. That's how they've won a bunch of ball games up to this point. That's how they scored a bunch of runs. That's how the Joes function. They don't have the greatest pitching, it seems like, but they definitely have the pop to contend here in this Great Lakes League.
Yeah, we talked about it earlier. Those 4 batters came into the game batting .404 and above. And unbelievably, 3 of those batters are going to improve on those averages, which seems absolutely astronomical, Lance. But it was Andy Young with a 3-run blast, his 5th of the season. That's going to lead the league. He had 4 RBIs today. So that's going to tie him with David Gaunt, assuming Brett Murray and Cole Nito haven't advanced their RBI totals with 18 on the year. It was 2 great days in the middle of the Scouts rotation, Scouts lineup, as well as David Gaunt and Kyle Carnahan had great days at the plate. Carnahan went 3 for 3 to start the game, then missed his last 2, finished 3 for 5 with an RBI and a couple of doubles. David Gaunt finished the game 3 for 4 with 2 RBIs and got on 2 for 4 or 2 for 3 with 2 RBIs as he walked and was hit by a pitch. So he got on 4 out of the 5 times he stepped to the plate. As you mentioned, Kyle Carnahan will be our player of the game. Just an unbelievable game. If you're a Joes fan, you're jumping for joy. If you're the Scouts, you just can't believe that one went like that. That's the first time this season the Scouts have really been in a situation where they were on the other side of a late game rally here at Grady's Field. Only on the year they did 5-3 against the Mariners. That was a game that Grand Lake was winning the entire, and the Scouts almost made a late rally. They've never been up here at Grady's and gave up late runs like they did today. 5 runs in the 8th and 9th inning combined. 5 of the 7 in those last 2 innings. And another great start for John Crawford.
Yeah, Crawford, good day on the hill. Went 7 strong innings, gave up 7 hits. Had a couple strikeouts, had his 1 walk. But first time he's had an earned run scored against him coming into his start. Was unblemished in his previous 2 starts. And Crawford put the team in a position to win, but Joe Chasen just wasn't able to come through in his save opportunity. So I'm pretty sure that's the first blown save of the season for Joe and for the Scouts as a whole.
Yeah, it will be the first blown save for the Scouts as a whole. You also got to go back to the top of the 8th inning when Thomas Wanning came into the ball game and put the first 3 batters on. Joey Levitt gave up a 2 RBI single, both credited to Wanning, with John Crawford not getting the relief he needed tonight. He actually pitched more than he's used to. First 2 starts went 6 innings. Tonight he went season high 7 innings. Those last 2 innings is what did it for the Scouts. And they come away on the downside of things here at Grady's Field, 7-6, and an absolute heartbreaker. Definitely the hardest loss that the Scouts have had all season long.
Yeah, it's the hardest loss just because of the way it all turned out. When you give up 3 runs in the 9th inning, it's hard to win any game. So when you do it like that, the bats just came alive for the Joes in the last couple innings. They get 2 runs in the 8th and 3 in the 9th, and not much more you can say other than great hitting from the Joes. They didn't have the best pitching today in Ryan Colgate, even though you'd probably think he's their best pitcher, seeing as he was drafted in this past year's draft, but just didn't have a great day from him. He only went 4 innings, gave him 9 hits, 5 runs, and a walk and a strikeout. So the Scouts were able to get to him early, but the Joes bats came alive in the late innings for sure.
You're right, and for those still watching at home, you can tell Lance and I are stalling. We're waiting for Kyle Carnahan to come up here to the press box. He was our player of the game. Yet again, your final score, Hamilton Joes 7, Xenia Scouts 6. In an absolute heartbreaker when a 3-run shot from Andy Young with his league-leading 5th homer of the year went way above the left field fence. And that spelled doom for the Xenia Scouts.
So as the team breaks out of their post-game prayer, Kyle Carnahan now on his way up to the press box. Like we said earlier, went 3 for 5 today. Had 2 doubles and 1 base hit, and that was back in the first inning. Thought it might have been ruled an error, but it was ruled a hit as it was just a rocket off of the bat of Carnahan. Then he grounded out in the 6th and flew out in the 8th. But 3 for 5 from Kyle. Definitely the best game we've seen at the plate, aside from the fact that he hit a home run a couple weeks ago against the Settlers.
Yeah, it was a great day from Kyle. It's unfortunate. We're going to have to interview him after a loss, and a loss like a transfer of emotions as the Scouts were riding high into the 9th. It looks like even though they had a couple runners on, they had control of things as the door opens behind us. And we're still not knowing what's going on, but and here comes Kyle Carnahan, our player of the game. He'll sit in for Lance Morse, take over his headset. Kyle Carnahan with his first player of the game of the season. I'm trying to finagle the camera. have Kyle move over here a little bit more to get and make sure see him. Kyle, that's a tough loss. Definitely the hardest. Most 3-run.
That one's tough. We thought we had the right pitch. Joe was throwing well on the mound. We had confidence in him, and that's hard. But we like the resiliency of the guys. We came back in. We had the tying run there on second base, winning run at the plate. So there's a lot of fight in these guys. We don't give up, and so we're right there in every game. I
know it's not our job to question calls, but what are your thoughts on that last call strike 3 to Levi Gilcrease on his check swing?
I know that one's tough. The umpire saw what he saw, and we don't really question that. It's tough, but that's the call, and that's the way it goes.
You had probably your best day of the live at the plate, but in the field, you were just dynamite tonight. A couple of web gems play. Were you thinking you're going to be able to get it back in first in time when you caught that snag?
Well, I don't really think my third base. If I was thinking I wasn't playing it, I'd be playing somewhere else. But it's just about reacting, and worked out.
And you also have that diving one on that ground ball that you got to first as well. Just a great day from you at the plate. You just see anything differently tonight? I don't know if you knew this, but that pitcher by the Cleveland Indians in the 33 round. So you had a 3-for-3 day before he was replaced. So what are your thoughts at the plate today?
I don't know. I was just seeing the ball well, being patient, and waiting to get a pitch I could hit. And balls were just falling today.
Tough loss, like we mentioned. How do you agree against these Joes again? You're great.
I think we'll be ready to go. We were down a little bit after the loss, but we'll definitely get back up and be ready to play tomorrow.
Congratulations, your first Player of the Game award. A fantastic day for Kyle. 3 for 5 at the plate. A couple of great plays in the field. Unfortunately, scouts were on the wrong side of that loss, and we'll have Kyle and Lance switched on the headset right here.
I just got to tell my mom. My mom's happy birthday tomorrow.
Oh, happy birthday to Mrs. Carnahan tomorrow, and hopefully a treasure to see your son win Player of the Game the day before. A bit of a birthday present from Kyle Carnahan. Mr. Hot Corner himself wins Player of the Game. And Lance Morris is going to step back on the headset. And a tough loss, Lance. We've talked it to the ground, but the scouts come back tomorrow. Most likely we'll see Ben Aldridge on the mound. Expectations going into tomorrow's game after their first really difficult loss of the season.
I think they're just going to have to bounce back in a way they really haven't had to this year. They haven't had a game that just broke open at the end like that. They've had a couple games where it got away from them early, and you can kind of prep for that as the game goes on and know you're probably not going to get enough runs to come back. But when you blow it in the ninth like that, it's something that the team hasn't had to deal with this season. So however they do come back, it will be the first time we get to see how they react to having such a tough loss. We've seen them get buried into the ground. We saw that game, the third game of the season against the Locos, where the ball, it was just crushing to see them get beat the way they did. They lost 15-7, if memory serves correctly.
Correct.
And we saw that game against Lorain County last week. They lost 12-3, and they got away from them early. So we're going to have to see what they can come back with tomorrow after just a devastating loss coming from the bat of Andy Young with that 3-run home run in the top of the ninth.
Yeah, Murders Row is what we called them all night long. The 2 through 5 hitters, those 4 batters are all batting 400 coming into today. 3 of them improved on those averages. Zimmerman, the only one that did not. We'll see them again tomorrow night. Should be an interesting affair. Scouts now drop the game and are 12-5 on the season. The Hamilton Joes are now 10-5 on the year. Came into the game at 9-5. So a tough loss for the Scouts. But join us, Lance Morris and myself, Terry Lash, again tomorrow. Follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, and be checking XeniaScouts.com every night as we have game recaps stories, and we have our schedule page, our roster page, where we keep updating those and have new things for you there. So keep in tune with XeniaScouts.com. And one final time, the score of this game, 7-6. Scouts lose to the Hamilton Joes on that 3-run go-ahead run from Andy Young in the top of the ninth. But we'll do it again tomorrow here at Grady's Field at 7:05. For Lance Morris, myself, Terry Lash, good night, and God bless, folks.